Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Viper S for Viperland. Excuse me, and I've got hiccups at the start of stream for extra, goodness. And we're back in 428 Shibuya Scramble. Hello to Ramen and 7th. Yeah, so my computer has two internet adapters. It's got my external dongle, and it's got an internal card. The external one works way better because it has a big antenna that I can point at things. Every now and again, my computer goes, "Oh, you wanted to use the internal one. We're not going to tell you about it. We're just going to swap to it and just detect what we think is the worst internet we can have. And your internet's just going to be bad and you won't know till you check it out. Cool, thanks, bye." And it did that. I can usually tell because I've got a light on my external dongle. And if that light's off, something fishy's going on. Thanks, Windows. But we are back here in Shibuya Scramble. We made it to this choice. Yep. This was... I don't remember his actual name, but yeah, Suicide Dad, that's what we're calling him. And his daughter. He called us. There are men following him. We know how this ends. We need to figure out how to keep him away from them and get a better ending. Keep your head down instead of trouble, or get back to the office. Part of me says go back to the office, because we've seen him out and about running from them, and I don't know if he's good enough to keep his head down. I don't know if he's capable enough. And he's got to deal with his daughter, who we know nothing of other than wherever Volcano was. No. But he also bumped into Dr. Man. So he was really out and about, I feel. I'm gonna go with my heart right now and say get back to the office. If it goes wrong, we come back to here. We can easily do that. My heart says this one. Even though we know they've staked out the office, and that's where, not staked out, but that's where he originally found it. I'm gonna go with my heart, though. Need to get back to the office ASAP. The office? Well, they'll find me there for sure. Toyama's voice was a little more than a pathetic whimper. It's a little bit of reverse psychology. The last place the debt collectors are gonna think you went is back to the office, right? Ah, I see, Toyama said. He sounded impressed by the suggestion. For now, just stay hidden until I can get these articles finished. Alright, Toyama said weakly. He hung up. Minorikawa let out a deep sigh, then turned back to his laptop. Oh, okay. So that was the right answer. Finding God, this entire game experience and ready for more, right? This is so, like, insanely, unexpectedly... So we picked the right answer, and there, we had a way to go back to him, and I don't remember whose jump it was. We definitely had a jump that led us back to him. That led us back to Tama. Was it this one? No, Father, that led there. That's the window, right? No! We can go to Minorikawa. I don't remember why, but hell yeah, we can do it from here. Yeah, hello Sir Jude, welcome to Viper Link in the chat, how's it going? Aki ground his teeth. Yeah. At roughly the same time, Minoru Minorikawa is grinding his teeth while trying to keep his schedule. I don't know... Yeah, it's about the same time? We'll see. Probably. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Also, how's it going, Potions? This game is... I truly thought this was going to be a one-off joke. Truly thought I'd pop it in and people would be like, what's this? I was like, oh, nobody's ever going to guess what this game's going to be, and nobody did. How could you? With zero hints, like, at all. I thought this was going to be a one-off, and then it's like, wait, no, this is actually really good. I want to find out how this is going, and we're having a pretty good time with this. Minorikawa took a look at his wristwatch. By the way, what sort of impression do you have of this wristwatch? Just respond with whatever happens to come to mind. It's very square. That's my initial impression. Yeah, it's a rounded square. It's very square, not circular. I like my watches circular. Clocks. But okay, I also don't wear a watch, so, you know, as you will. Never was a big watch fan to begin with, and now cell phones make it so you don't really need to ever. Except, hold on, I don't know if it'll pick up on camera. Except I have a Rathalos watch, which should light up, but the batteries are dying. Yeah, the batteries are dying. But it's Rathalos and the dots tell you what the time is. When the batteries are good, it's very vibrant. Better watch what you say. Oh, you have the same one? So it's a gift from a friend years ago, when I first started getting into Monster Hunter. Battery is dead, exactly. Same here. And I used to wear that one occasionally, but then I got a job at a deli where I couldn't wear jewelry or anything, and I just haven't gone back to wearing any type of anything. Damn, is it that late already? He needed to head for the sales demo. The surveillance camera article wasn't done, but he'd just have to leave it where it was for now. Oh, as he was slipping his laptop back into his bag, his cell phone rang. He looked at the screen and saw Chiaki's name listed as the incoming caller. Was she done with her interviews? Hurriedly, he picked up the phone. Oh, picked up, well, whatever. Also, why is my cable getting caught on things? No, we're good. Chiaki, how's it going? The old rotary phone ringtone. Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with, honestly. Several wet sniffles came through the receiver. Hey, are you crying? It's no use. It's no use. Chiaki's voice was, indeed, punctuated by sobs. People won't stop to talk, no matter how hard I try. Oh, come on. This again? Really? I can't do it. Don't worry about paying me, just please, let me go home. Minorikawa was already operating on a too tight schedule. He didn't have time to worry about Chiaki on top of all this. Look, just slow down and take a breath. Try and keep at it a little longer. He should have seen this coming when he first called her. Her shyness was practically pathological. I feel like we've gone through this bit before, but with different stuff beforehand. But if he cut her loose now, all this frustration would be for nothing. But I can't do it, Chiaki whined again. I'm sorry, I really am. Look, just calm down. Minorikawa was practically screaming into his phone. Just stay where you are until I get there, okay? Am I getting into something? Maybe, yeah. Just stay where you are until I get there, okay? Got that? Whatever you do, just don't move. Oh. This time, it's different because he's going to her. Last time he's like, just get it done. This time he's like, I'm coming to you. So it's already different. Leaving the money for his coffee on the table, he strode out of the cafe. Street interviews were tougher than they looked. Not many random passerbys were willing to stop and do a back and forth. Still, being able to talk to people on the street was a fundamental skill for a freelance reporter. All Minorikawa wanted was for Chiaki to put in a little effort and make it happen. This is not a romance, this is more... It's a 5-character visual novel across the same time. It's the same several-hour block of the same day, but across multiple characters, and things are interacting. It started with just a kidnapping and a ransom handoff, but it's branched out into more than just that. So far, this character seems a little less involved in the overarching story. Yeah, I'd call it a mystery game at this rate. But like, we just don't really know how he's going to tie into it. He has, for bad ends, stopped people from doing what they were supposed to do. But so far, I don't really know how he's going to tie in to the overarching bit. Although he found her personality frustrating, he actually quite liked her writing. Reading her words, you'd never guess what she was like in person. If she could just break the right story, he was sure readers would be quite taken with her. There was no time like the present. Also, this is... You've missed 2 full streams of branching storylines and weirdness, and one of the characters you can play as is legitimately just a woman stuck in a mascot costume. That's a playable character. And the best trash boy in the world, a different character. The plaza outside Shibuya Station was as crowded as ever. Minorikawa looked around and soon spotted Chiaki. Oh yeah, she straight up died because she had a cockroach on her head. Died of shock. Hey, what are you doing? She was hunkered down in front of the statue of Hachiko, squatting in an odd position. Look at the kids with giant lollipops in identical outfits watching her. What? She was, I read the bit. A group of kindergartners was gathered nearby, peering at her with sadness in their eyes, like she was a stray dog or something. A pair of girls from Midoriyama Academy's kindergarten. The academy has a kindergarten? Okay. They always hang out around the train station after school. They're quite fond of killing time inside of the Tokyo 5000 series display car, the new landmark by the Hachiko entrance. Excuse me. The beat cop at the station's police box has nicknamed them the Kinder Partners. BRB, no worries. All good. What's this all about? So I guess they intentionally... It could also be a uniform, I don't know. Minorikawa asked. This is how I end up when I lose all my self-confidence. I just want to hide. Oh, for crying out loud, get up, will you? I don't wanna. Stop crying. Chiaki sniffled and wiped at her eyes. See, that's how you spread coronavirus. Let me ask you this, Minorikawa stared down at her. What was it that made you want to be a freelance writer? Why did they just have two... Like, those are gonna have to be plot relevant, right? Or they were just in the shot and they're like, we'll write it in, don't worry about it. Well, speaking down the rope at a kindergarten. Oh. Weren't those the villains of Ultra Despair Girls? I remember them being kids, but I don't remember much of the story because I only played through chapter 1. I should play more of it, but like... Because I hear the story is relevant and important, but the gameplay is so bad. If you ever play a Danganronpa game, and you should, don't play Ultra Despair Girls. Yeah, I need to watch the cutscenes. Ugh. Deliberately put those two children there, gave them matching hats. I mean, that's true. And not matching lollipops. Those are actually distinctly different lollipops. Like, definitely different flavors, potentially different brands. Like, those are very different lollipops. As far different as giant swirly lollipops can be. Let's see. Well, I guess because I wanted to try my hand at writing? A dangling bit of mucus bobbed in and out of Chiaki's left nostril as she spoke. Thanks, game. Okay, Minorikawa followed. And why's that? Well, Potions is onto something, though. Potions is making predictions here the same way Calico and Afro do in their Danganronpa playthroughs. If you guess everything, something will be right. If you guess that everyone's Wesker, eventually. The law of averages states you'll be right eventually. Well, I'm too embarrassed to say. Chiaki hid her face in her hands. Okay, never mind that then. Right now, you have a task that's been handed to you. You can't just say you can't do it. If not everyone, yeah, that would be the biggest twist. Minorikawa tried to keep his tone calm. No magazine in the world is going to let a novice writer just write about whatever they want. You have to prove yourself first. Get your fundamentals down. I already know all that. Minorikawa took the notebook from Chiaki's hands. It still didn't get her to stand up, though. Hey, she squeaked. Wait, you've only talked to one person so far? There sure wasn't going to be a story in that. Yeah, well, not a person exactly. Wait, what's this here? Oh, look who she talked to! A cat? Aww. No, I mean, yes, there was a person in a cat costume. Can we go to Chiaki's story, or Tama's story? Do we just straight abandon Minorikawa and go straight back to Tama? If only to confuse the pants off of 7th when they get back? Because I feel like that's the best reason to do it. How did he get to 12? Oh, he took time walking over here. Screw it. The chat has spoken. We go Tama. That's what we do. It's just how we do. Ah, what should I do? Where could the trucker that took the burning hammer possibly have gone? I'm standing there, racking my brain, when I hear a voice call out from behind me. Excuse me? Oh, hello, I give the wrong voice. Are you, happy? With your life right now? I love her ring. I've stated this before. Also, her earrings, though. I didn't notice those the first time. Her earrings. Also, hello Topaz, welcome to Viperland in the chat. How you doing tonight? I was distracted by the ring and didn't notice the earrings the first time. Holy crap. I turned to see a woman holding a notebook. Huh? I mean, just... Sorry. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions? I do not have the time for this right now. I'm more than a little busy. Oh. No, I mean, I understand if you can't. She's giving me this hyper-intensive stare. I can't tell if she's trying to be intimidating or if she's actually afraid of me. Don't forget, we are currently wearing a giant, snuggly cat mascot outfit. So, something about her is definitely off. Way too jittery and suspicious for my liking. Whatever she wants, I'd rather not get involved. Yeah, like, how could you be afraid of that? I'm actually pretty busy, I say. Oh, but, I mean, just really quick? Be a huge help. Please? Okay, no, I did it. But, please? Please? She bows so many times, she looks like one of those drinking birds. A toy bird that functions by means of a simple heat engine mechanism, causing it to continually dip its head into a liquid and then rise back up. Sometimes falsely claimed to be a type of perpetual motion device. Once a common sight in offices the world over. Yeah, you don't really see much of those anymore, and to be fair, I never really knew what made them go. I can't help but feel bad for this poor girl. I guess I can give her at least a few moments of my time. We have to pick that, right? This girl's kinda creeping me out. Decide to ignore her and move on. We have to give her something. Like, her whole thing is that she's really stressed because she's gotten nothing. We gotta give her something, right? Unless we get a bad end from it, and then we'll come back to it. But, like, I gotta try this one first. Also, welcome back, 7th. We're a cat now. Don't question it. I can't help but feel bad for this poor girl. I guess I can give her at least a few moments of my time. Alright, but please make it quick. Oh. Thank you. Thank you so much. She goes back into drinking bird mode. So, what was the question? Oh, right. So, are you, happy with your life? Right now? Well, right now, as you can see, I am a cat. That's the first of 4 for tonight. that extra pause after hitting the button, too. Oh, a cat. Yes, I see. A cat. So, yeah. I'll put down cat. Pause, you say? Yeah. She just writes the word cat in her notepad. Right. Thank you. Huh? Are we finished already? Yes. Yes, we can finish right there. She hangs her head a little and looks away. We tried, guys, we tried. Well, that sure was quick. I'm not sure I get what it was all about. Did I really give her enough to be useful? I doubt it, but hey, at least it was over fast. I head off in search of the burning hammer once more. Perfect notes for an article. Yeah, and she clearly drew an artist's interpretation as well. No matter where I wander, though, I don't spot the truck anywhere. Now there's only 15 minutes before the demo's supposed to start. I'd better make my way back to the venue. Maybe Cheery had better luck in her search. We know she didn't. Back at the break room, I'm met by Mr. Bossman, who positively radiates despair. So does that head in the background, to be fair. It looks like that's the chicken overlord, like, ordering to do its bidding. I have no idea how to turn a video clip into a GIF, but I have to do that. I have to access that file, upload it to my computer, and find a way to GIF that. Somehow. It's a new wallpaper. This entire game's a new wallpaper. Did you find it? Upload it to Twitter. Oh yeah, that's fair, yeah. I'm sorry. I tried. Bossman's shoulders slumped further at my response. Have you heard from Cheery? I ask. No, nothing yet. I guess she's our last hope. All of a sudden, Mr. Bossman holds up a pendant. The situation's rough. I'd like you to wear this. It's a miracle stone, like the one I saw back in the storeroom earlier. This ought to kick up your luck a notch. Now I see that Bossman is wearing another miracle stone around his own neck, using one bit of sham merchandise to help find another. Nice. This is the pinnacle of pitiful. That's what this is. Hurry up and put it on, before the luck runs out. Mr. Bossman's eyes are all bloodshot. Something tells me that refusing his request wouldn't be wise right now. After a moment's hesitation, I take hold of the pendant. The stone is blue and glittery. Did he... No, those were already in the storeroom. Yeah, it was in the back room already. This is just one of the many things he's already bought. Is that Cheery? Mr. Bossman squeaks. He whips out his phone. Ah, no. Sorry. He mutters after listening for a moment. I think you have the wrong number. Guess it isn't Cheery after all. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he stays on the line. Huh? Really? His tone suddenly does a complete 180. This game is the best. Yes, please. Thank you so much. As soon as he hangs up, Bossman strikes a victory pose. I can already tell you the pose is going to be the best. I don't know if I could accurately portray this dance. I don't know that... I don't know it's possible, humanly possible, to do this. But you know... Just look at him, look how happy he is. Burning Hammer is back, baby. Hmm? Oh, tell me he didn't just buy another. The recycling guy realized his mix-up and returned the boxes to the loading dock. Wow. We literally had to do nothing. We did nothing, and it worked out. Whoa, for real? You girls did great. We did nothing. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, we did nothing. I've never seen someone come so close to literally jumping for joy. I'm gonna go prep the demo room. Tama, you go bring the burning hammer inside. With that, Mr. Bossman practically flies out of the room. Don't we have like 5 minutes before? No way, I remember to myself. This thing didn't actually work. Did it? Maybe, that could be the case, because of the knocked over boxes. I examined the Miracle Stone more closely. It just looks like some kind of toy jewelry. I wish that I actually get paid my 200,000 or 20,000 yen. Hey, it's worth a shot. With the Miracle Stone still clutched in my hand, I hurry up to the loading dock. I brace myself before actually stepping out the door. It's not there. Where is it? Of course. Be silly. I looked and I look and I look, but I see no sign whatsoever of any burning hammer. Don't join the cult. In a panic, I call the recycling guy. Well, I definitely returned it to the loading dock. I can assure you of that. If you're telling me it's not there now, unfortunately, that isn't my responsibility. Click. He hangs up. Didn't even sound like he cared. I look around a little more, but to no avail. It's better not to question it. Well... Yeah, it's better not to question it. No, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's definitely not here. Did someone else take it, maybe? Oh man, maybe that's the version that got knocked over by Aki. Maybe this is the version of it that got pushed a little forward and knocked down. Maybe it wasn't... I thought it was Aki knocked it over, so the recycling guy thought it was garbage and took it with him, but maybe it was recycling guy dropped it back off, Aki knocks it over, ruins it all. That could be the case too. Maybe, I don't know. As I hang my head in dismay, a middle-aged man in a sanitation uniform passes by, hauling a big garbage bag. Mostly because of that guy, yeah. He flashes me a curious look. What do we do, Tama? Mr. Bossman freaks out when he hears the burning hammer is missing. Please, you gotta give me something. I'm not really sure, sir. Without the text, this absolutely looks like I'm holding him up. Like, I'm definitely holding this man up at gunpoint without the text, right? Like 100% no mercy, no remorse. Robbing him for everything he's worth. And Tama is a criminal. Now my boss is an even bigger wreck than he was before. This job is toast. Any money I was going to get paid is going up in smoke. Just like all my hopes and dreams at this point. I guess maybe we could try selling the Anagachis? Or something? Oh man, the Mr. Bossman is the best. It's not much of a suggestion, but it's all I've got. Mr. Bossman looks at me intently. Wait, what did you just say? Huh? What did you just say? Or something. No, before that. I guess maybe we could try selling the Anagachis? I can almost see the wheels turning in his head as a smile slowly creeps back into his face. That's it. That's it. That's it! I'm certain I see an actual gleam in his eyes. Right then, I guess that's our only real option. No, wait, this is a sign. That burning hammer didn't just vanish by coincidence. Oh no. He jolts to his feet, his eyes still positively aglow. Alright, see you later, Anagachis. We're about to knock you right out of the park. This game. They do so much with so little animation. Oh no. I probably don't need to tell you how the event goes down. We don't manage. Oh, that's also movement. We don't manage to sell even a single Anagachi. Turns out, hey, people are really creeped out by eels, and our customers have no problem letting us know, very impolitely I might add, as they storm away in a huff. Yeah, checks out. But Shiryu said she liked eel, salt-broiled and in sushi. I hear Mr. Bossman mutter to himself as I get ready to leave. How did they take off the costume? How? I guess at that rate, like, he's broke, they just cut her out of it, I guess. If only we hadn't lost the burning hammer, things would have gone so much differently. Or no, maybe they'd have gone pretty much the same. You know, I probably should have listened to my gut earlier. Agreeing to take on this job has brought me nothing but trouble. Alright, there's a bad end. Yeah, we definitely gotta go back to Aki and not use the forklift, right? That's definitely... Like, I'm gonna check the... Nobody's going to have any luck selling digital pets to customers who are looking for a health food demo. But why did the burning hammer disappear anyway? While that sanitation worker Thomas saw had found another pile of trash to dispose of, sometime close to 12:40, someone winds up breaking the bottles, turning them into useless garbage. But who is that someone, and what can they do differently? Yeah, it's Aki. I have no regrets about smothering that man under some bottles, but let's go change the timeline a little bit. Alright. Yeah. Aki destroying the world that he's trying to save. Or his sister. Alright. Yeah, so that's definitely the time frame. I thought it was earlier. Oh, either way, we kinda mess up some of the boxes, though. I don't know if this is any better, actually. We'll try it, though, but it's the only one that interacts with boxes. Aki snatched up the nearest box, turned, and threw it at the man with the cane. Yeah, maybe A won't break them, or won't break all of them. It'll just, like, break one or two. The box is filled with something. Something heavy. This ought to do some damage. He watched with satisfaction as it struck the assassin in the face. The man staggered sideways. Here, have another. One by one, Aki hurled every box in the pile. Aki, you fool. And one for the road.
The last box wasn't properly sealed. It broke open as it struck their pursuer, sending several bottles flying. They shattered as they crashed into the street, splashing red liquid. Oh man. Oh man, no, if that gets in his eyes, he's gonna go blind. He's gonna go blind. Period. Hard stop. He's going blind if that gets in his eyes. The assassin dropped to one knee, scrubbing at his face with his hand. Aki looked on in surprise. He will die. He couldn't possibly have hit the guy that hard. You're throwing boxes full of bottles at his face, so first of all, yeah, you did hit the guy that hard, but second of all, he's gonna die now. Peering at the man more closely, he saw that he was splattered in red liquid. Apparently the stuff in the bottles had gotten in his eyes. Oh, he's dead. He's just dead. Now's our chance. We've blinded a man, minimum. Aki took off with Hitomi, leaving their pursuer kneeling in the alley. It's gotta end the same way, because we got to his right end, so like, it has to play out the same after this, so I guess he didn't actually go blind? But either this gets us a bad end, or it has to play out the same. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the same one here. Ground his teeth, yep, okay, so it's the same one. So now, we should be able to go back to Tama. Is it there? Yeah, it's gotta be here. Okay. So we'll have to probably redo just a smidge, but then it should hopefully be different. Yeah, oh, we gotta go back a ways. Alright. That's fine. We don't find the truck, we're gonna head back. I wish there was a quicker point to start from, but life goes on. Yep, the pendant, Miracle Stone. Just killed a man. Even worse than that punk. Yeah, I mean, he obviously can't be dead, because the way the chapter ends, but, like, he should be. But it still says he threw all of them, right? So I don't know how this is, if this is going to be any different, but that's the only one around the same time that interacts with boxes, right? So, like... Oh yeah, we basically killed the gang member. True, the other ones that just mentioned bouncing off his face. So, it is entirely possible they didn't shatter. Was the other time we drove them into him on a forklift. Okay, so from here should be where it diverges. Oh hey, look at that. It's there! It's really there! Pendant in hand, too. The cardboard boxes are scattered all around outside. There we go. Easy peasy. Wait. Scattered all around? What happened to them? I suddenly have a very bad feeling about this. Apprehension gnaws at me as I open one of the boxes. Oh, are they all broken? Yup. No! I shriek and my vision dims. The box is full of bottles of burning hammer, all of them smashed to pieces. Oh, that's where her chapter ends, right? To be continued. Damn it! That's the end of her chapter. Did we get everybody to be continued then? I think we might have, actually. That might be the end of that chapter block. Oh man. To be continued? Oh, Osawa didn't make it there. Did he? No, Osawa didn't. Minorikawa didn't either. Okay. Kano really didn't. Okay, but we still got a few of them. Who do we go back to now then? Need to fix Minorikawa with Osawa? Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's see how his chapter plays out differently now that we know that his wife doesn't end up in a fight with the reporter. So let's see how this goes real quick, because I kind of want to see. We know that's how it ended, and it's setting us a little higher. So we know that's not how it's going to play out this time, but we don't know how it is. That should hopefully get him to an ending, or get us somewhere. Knocked on the door to Ai's room, but there was no response. Okay, so we saw this bit. He goes in there, he finds the lighter.
the books, disheveled clothes. But last time somebody came by and was like, we gotta go, there's an issue. We didn't get that bad end, and I kind of wanted to see how that happened. I'm willing to bet it was the beeping. Yeah, oh yeah, the lighter is super suspicious. Yep, gold cigarette lighter. And he's specifically like, she doesn't smoke. Scrapbook, yep, we got that. I don't remember what was in the book. Oh, the book was filled with articles and write-ups about the results of Osawa's research and the company's various achievements. I don't remember if we got to actually check the book, because I think that's where we were interrupted. Flipping through the pages took him on a trip down memory lane. There was even an old company memo welcoming Tanaka on board as his new vice director. There was a photo of Osawa shaking Tanaka's hands at the party celebrating his new position. It was a little peculiar to think that she had bothered to keep something so trivial. A series of magazine articles was nestled between the pages further into the book. These hadn't been clipped out for inclusion in the scrapbook itself. Osawa glanced through them. Floundering Okoshi Pharmaceutical arranges marriages of political convenience? It was a self-indulgent piece from some rag called 4-Star General Gossip from right after he and I had gotten married. When the piece had first run, he'd been too furious to read it. I don't say it's from Mr. Bossman. Maybe. Now he gave it a quick looking over. It was pretty much exactly what he expected. He talked about how one of the corporate directors had sacrificed his own daughter in order to keep one of his researchers on board, allowing someone else to come to harm for one's personal gain. In this case, the term is used figuratively, not literally. Referring, of course, to Makino offering Osawa Ai's hand in marriage. Rumors abound of marital strife between the newlyweds. The article went on to talk about how Ai had been dating another man before she and Osawa had gotten married. Oh no. The whole thing was a bunch of puerile rubbish. Any marriage involving some kind of calculated self-interest, after all. Oh, any marriage involved some kind of... Whatever the reasons for their union, nothing changed the fact that I was now his wife. Their marriage is not great, yeah. With a faint sigh, Osawa put the scrapbook back on the shelf. Feeling disconsolate, he returned to his study and began flipping through his CD rack. His eyes scanned for Aya Kamiki's album, For Tomorrow, Forevermore. Secret Code? A lot of her more experimental numbers were on that album. Given how discombobulated he felt right now, that was what he needed to hear. Again, Osawa reflected on how there had been a time where he didn't care about music at all. He'd simply purchase copies of the most popular CD of the moment as a birthday present for his two girls, and that had just happened to be an album by Aya Kamiki, or Aya. Hitomi was thrilled by the gift, but Maria hadn't seemed terribly fond of it. The next day, she tossed her copy back on her father's desk. Wow. Figuring that throwing it away would be a waste, Osawa had stuck the CD into his computer and gave it a listen. He was immediately bombarded by an intense beat bolstered by bold, uplifting vocals. Aya Kamiki wrote her own lyrics, which did a fine job of conveying the emotions of a teenage girl. Osawa could hardly believe it. He felt like a teenage girl. After listening to just one track, he was well and truly hooked. Before the day was out, he had purchased her entire discography. Damn! Damn! Huh? He muttered. For Tomorrow should have been in the CD rack, but there was no sign of it. Where the heck is it? Why isn't it here? For a moment he wondered if he was going crazy, and then he remembered. It was at the lab. He'd wanted something to listen to on break at work, so he brought up the album there. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Not being able to listen to it made him want to hear it all the more. It wasn't like he could just pirate the music on the internet. Even in 2008, there was easily accessible ways to pirate music. Arguably more easily accessible ways to pirate music. But that's okay. He's a scientist. He wouldn't know computers or anything. It wasn't like he could just go out and buy another copy right now, either. He'd just have to borrow the copy he'd given to Hitomi all those years ago. Unable to contain his need to hear the music, he went into Hitomi's room. He's just going through all the rooms. There, he quickly rummaged through the CD rack beside his daughter's bed.
Part of him felt like he was being a little sneak thief. He is. According to the email Tanaka had shown him, someone was trying to kill Hitomi. Under the circumstances, he knew that what he was doing was ridiculous, and that he still couldn't resist the impulse to find the CD. But his efforts were to no avail. There were no Aya Kamiki CDs in the rack at all. Osawa pulled out every CD in the rack, but they were all classical music. Okay. Yep, there's Mozart, and some others. Sing. He slumped back in disappointment. It had to be somewhere here in her room. Please don't go through the entire room looking for a CD. Osawa jumped at the sound of his cell and fumbled to get it out of his pocket. Makino's name was displayed on the LCD screen. I'm out front. That was all Makino said before hanging up. Hurriedly, Osawa began tidying up the CD rack. Yeah, that ringtone is not fantabulous. As he worked, he thought about what he was going to say to Makino. To think that someone had violated corporate policy to such unethical ends. It sullied his research. Osawa wasn't about to let anyone get away with it. Like he's got a choice. I don't know who it is or why. That's an angle. And yet, as he was about to leave Hitomi's room, a sudden uncertainty gripped him. He hesitated. Did he have any right to condemn Makino for running trials in secret? His hand began to sweat as it gripped the doorknob. No, he didn't. How could he? His hands were dirty in all this, too. Movement. Oh my god. We need to keep this a secret, just between us. Oh no. It'll be fine. We've already cleared animal testing. Video! High quality. The memories hovered. Osawa himself had already administered the antiviral to someone, hadn't he? Had he? It was the only way. I kind of like how every character seems to have, to some degree, like a distinct color palette. Even though they're in the same town, you see a lot of like different colors for different people. Muttering to nobody in particular, Osawa trudged towards the front door of his house. Specifically this guy, though. It's not a romantic visual novel, no. Well, it's Spike Chunsoft. I mean, more recently, they're really just known for, like, Danganronpa and the Zero Escape series. Neither of which are romance visual novels at all. Okay, that's another to be continued. So we got, what, 2 left? 1 is close. Oh man, the mystery is building. Alright. Minorikawa still not done. Let's finish him, because we got a long way to go for Kano, relatively. Let's finish Minorikawa. Yeah, because we got to the jump and we went, we're done with this nonsense. We're going Tama. But we should see how it plays out. Imagine, so what if we jumped to Tama, then didn't give the interview? Would this scene then not be here? A cat? I mean, yes, there was a person in a cat costume. I thought since I couldn't see their face, it'd be easier to ask them stuff. Fine, whatever. Now get back out there and get me some more. Wow. Look at the kindergartners pointing too. Minorikawa steered Chiaki towards the passing crowd. What, now? Yes, now. We've got no time to waste. I'll even stand by and watch for a minute. Now, enough with the excuses and get out there. Minorikawa looked on as Chiaki wandered through the crowd. Her anxious demeanor seemed to repel everyone around her. On the rare chance she did manage to flag someone down, the way she stammered through her initial questions made them take right off again. After a minute or two, she shuffled her way back, shoulders slumped. See, it's hopeless. Okay, some advice. First of all, you aren't approaching the right people. Some people are clearly in a rush, you know? You're not going to have much luck trying to flag down a businessman who's visibly in a hurry. Now, folks who are waiting on someone, couples, groups, they're going to be less on their guard. But I mean, if I do manage to nab someone, how do I keep the conversation going? Chiaki asked. Yeah, that was indeed the tricky part. Whenever I get an answer I'm not expecting, I get all flustered. Chiaki, have you ever played tennis? Tennis? Well, yeah. I was in my school's tennis club. She struck Minorikawa as being more the manga club type, but that was neither here nor there. Okay, that'll make this simpler. What's more fun, rallying with an opponent or hitting the ball off a wall? Rallying with someone else, of course. Minorikawa gave a hearty nod. And why is that? Because when you hit the ball off of a wall, you already know where it's going to come back to. Revelation dawned on Chiaki's face. Oh. It's the same with interviews, Minorikawa said. Don't get flustered. Enjoy the rally. But I don't think I'm composed enough to enjoy it. Don't overthink things. Just let yourself enjoy the small talk. Small talk? Well, I'm sure I'm not any good at that. She was starting to waffle again. Now I'm hungry, game. Thanks. Okay, let me ask you this, Minorikawa said, taking a step closer. Are you happy with your life right now? I'm not happy with my life right now, no. Chiaki muttered. She hung her head in dismay. Okay, so start with that, Minorikawa said. Huh? Chiaki blinked a few times as she lifted her head back up. I'm not happy with my life right now. But what about you? Like that. Oh, okay. A sliver of liveliness had crept back into Chiaki's voice. Minorikawa jabbed his finger right in her face. Right there, he said. Put on that face when you flag people down. Chiaki's smile widened. I'll give it a shot. Thank you so much. Sure thing. Good luck. Chiaki strode enthusiastically into the crowd. Tried to flag down a Westerner who was walking hurriedly past. Oh, okay, so we saw this bit from another point of view. Did she even listen to a word I said? Wait, but he's not wearing all black. Minorikawa felt his short-lived triumph melt away. Am I just gonna have to teach her everything again from scratch? That ominous music. Yeah, he's one of the guys that has the ransom briefcase full of money that our cop friend, who we haven't caught up on yet either, is following. Then he paused in surprise. Or is he? Maybe he's not. No, because they're all wearing black. He's gotta be just a random dude, right? Hold on. Okay, good. Whoa. Chiaki had snatched the man by the arm in an attempt to get him to stop. Oh no. To Minorikawa's amazement, the gambit worked. Okay, so it's not actually that guy. He's the only good foreigner in Shibuya. We can't be sure of that yet. Before long, it looked like the two were engaged in some kind of animated conversation. Maybe she would get an interview out of this after all. Heck, the look on her face was actually somewhat confident. So her earrings are actually keys. The giant things I thought were earrings are hair ties. Tying her hair. That's what hair ties do, obviously. Those seemed a bit big for earrings. But I'm glad she's not just totally, like, destroying her earlobes. Sometimes people could surprise you once you get past their surface issues. I don't know how we didn't see the keys. Probably camera angle. Now Minorikawa could head to the Burning Hammer sales demo with a little more peace of mind. Speaking of which... Crap, what time is it? Ooh, in a panic, Minorikawa checked his wristwatch. Think about this wristwatch. That will tell you how you think about the opposite sex and whatnot. What? The demo was set to start in less than 5 minutes. Uh-oh. He really was cutting it close. I have no answers. I don't know. Minorikawa sprinted through the intersection, heading for Center Guy. Don't get hit by a car, please. To be continued? To be continued. One left. Yeah, look at this watch. How do you feel about it? That'll tell you how you feel. Yep, back to Osawa now. It was quite a ways earlier when we left him off, right? Wait, no, we can't do Osawa. Osawa's done. It's just a Kano. Everyone else is to be continued. Just the one. I don't remember if we need to go to Osawa to fix Kano. Did we? I don't remember that. So this costs another players. Oh no! Cause yeah. I don't know if we need to do him because we told him to go a different path with the phone call. So I think the phone call may have been enough because we told him to go back to the office. So I'm hoping that changed it. If it didn't, we might have to change it, you're right. But I'm hoping that did it. But you're right, Osawa also interacted with him and we might have to do that. Excuse me. So we can go back to where they stop, see if it ends up being there. Yeah, the interview, the dude. See, I thought it was this dude, but totally different outfit. But like, so far in this game, every time they've mentioned a foreigner in Shibuya, it's been one of these guys. So like, I panicked. And the music. Alright, come on, just go through. Kano was certain the handoff was about to take place, and then... Well. If it isn't Mr. Toyama... Oh, damn it, we didn't fix it! Alright, yep, okay. Cool, so back we go. I mean... It's gotta play out the same, right? Yeah, look, yeah, it's the same one, okay. I don't know if Osawa will fix it, but it's worth a try. Definitely worth a shot. Well, before he can stop us? Okay. Hell out of my room! Okay. Oh, if we do that one, we don't leave the study, so I don't know if it'll actually help us any. We'll try it though. Also, hey Mint, welcome to Viperland in the chat. Now would you please get the hell out of my room? And tried to usher Kajiwara back out the door. Alright, sir, the detective said. Alright, I understand. I'll leave. But before that... Kajiwara slipped his hand into his pocket. I don't need a damn banana. It's not that, Mr. Osawa. I have something I think may be important to you. Okay, so this plays out. He held out a small plastic bag, scrap paper. Yep, we knew this one. Fill his clog in the toilet. Huh. This seems like it's just playing out the way but skipping. Yeah, I don't know if this will change anything. It seems the same, but he gave this to us before when we came back inside, so it seems like it just skips the whole outside bit. Let's try and go pick the other way and see if it changed any due to us making the call earlier. Maybe telling him to go back was the wrong one. Maybe telling him to keep his head down is the right way to do it. Okay, so we'll try this way, see if we see him outside. If nothing has changed here and we have no option to interact with him, we'll go back to the phone call and we'll change that one. Because we told him to go... Oh, is it? No, don't need a damn banana. Yeah, maybe telling him to go back was the wrong choice. He didn't give the ticket. No. He does that when we come back inside from this. So we go to a small alley. Yeah. No, he still sees them. Okay. I don't think they give us any chance to do anything about it. Yeah, guy and his daughter. Yeah. Yeah, option A doesn't even send us outside. Oh, might it? Hold on, you're right. Well, we tell them don't think so, no, so like, it's not like we tell them the right direction. I honestly don't think our interaction with them changes anything. I'm gonna say it's the phone call. I'm gonna say telling him to go back was the wrong call. But we'll see how it plays out from there. Which was... who had the phone call? Oh yeah, duh. Now let's try a different way. Alright, so we're back at the beginning of the stream already. Just keep your head down, stay out of trouble. Stay where you are now. See how that goes. Stay where I am, but what am I supposed to do? Toyama's voice dropped in and out. It sounded like he was moving quickly. Find someplace to hide and just lay low for a while. That didn't hint mention both Morikawa and Osawa, which is what makes it suspicious. Okay, that's fair. Alright, Toyama said weakly. He hung up. Morikawa let out a deep sigh, then turned back to his laptop. Well, I'm going to see how this plays out for now, and then we'll go from here. Okay, so we've changed the timeline. Let's check from here. Let's try and go back outside again. I don't know if it's the right call. Let me try going back outside again. Because if they're still out there... I don't know. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh no, that's the right one. No banana. Okay. Go outside. See if we spot the dudes. Go for the back door. Look at the tree. Damn it, still see some running past. Oh, now they're hiding though. Now they're hiding. Different. As he looked around wild-eyed, he spotted Osawa watching him from the alleyway. Help, the man called out. Help me! Please! If these guys catch me, Oh. The father's eyes went wide when he got a look at Osawa's face. You're... Huh? Osawa thought he recognized the fugitive too, though he couldn't remember from where. There's some real nasty guys after us, the man said. I know I have no right to ask you this, but please, at least help me keep my daughter safe. Probably you should go to the police if... No! They won't be able to help me with this. Please, I'm begging you, help me. Sorry, but... Please, if not me, then at least help my daughter, the man pleaded. Osawa looked down at the girl. That's a horror movie cover right there. Unlike her father, she was calm and reserved. She reminded him of Maria, just a little. Well, we know his publication printed the article that Osawa was reading about his scam marriage. Or arranged marriage. So he might remember from that. These people need professional help. Osawa decided to call the police. Couldn't just stand idly by. He decided to help them evade the pursuers, obviously. Osawa couldn't just stand idly by. He decided to help them evade their pursuers. Alright, follow me. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Also, if I call the police, we could literally have just shouted indoors. He led the two back to his house and into the storage shed out back. You can lay low in here for a while if you like, he said. The shed was fairly large. There was plenty of space for the man and his daughter. I'm so sorry, the man said. I'm not sure how I can possibly thank you. Don't worry. Osawa closed the shed door and locked it. They were trapped forever. They died and headed back out to take a look around. Yeah, there is some terrifying imagery sometimes. Two thuggish-looking men came running up to him. No doubt, these were the people the father and daughter were running from. You there, said one with the sunglasses. You see a guy and his daughter? I think we read that one, right? Oh. Is this... Did we see this one before? Come to Shoto while running from the Lone Sox. Talking on the phone with Morikawa. We must have done this one before, right? Yeah. Okay. They should have come by this way. It was a hit. No, because we would have been able to jump to this. So that's a new jump. Maybe just as a point to go back to? They should have come by this way. There was a hint of menace in his voice. A man and his daughter? Ah, yes. Oh no. I don't know. Now I'm confusing myself. I think I saw them run through here. Which way did they go? That way. Sweet, we almost got them. The pair sped away. Osama waited until they were fully out of sight, then called out to the shed. Alright, they're gone. Door stayed closed, however. I'm really sorry, the man called back from inside. Those guys might come back to this way. Is it okay if we hide out here a little while longer? He sounded desperate. Pitiful, really. Sure. Go ahead, Osama said. With that, he headed back inside. Evidently, he just wasn't going to get any time alone today, no matter where he went. And now it should go back to the ticket. Do we have to do the whole thing playing out? No, okay, that goes to his ending. Cool. So now we can go over here. Hell yeah. That should hopefully solve this one. Sure enough, the second man approached the one holding the attaché case. After exchanging a scant handful of words, he took the case and walked off. Sasayama? I'll handle the guy with the case. Got it. Sasayama broke into a run, chasing after the man who'd taken the ransom. Kano hung up his phone and rushed to close the distance with the other man. And tackled him! Yeah, it's kinda Hagrid, yeah. You there, stop where you are! You're supposed to say that before you tackle them. The suspect turned and Kano recognized his face. He was indeed a member of the foreign crime syndicate that operated in Shibuya. Is the hostage safe? Kano demanded. The man's only response was an unsettling grin. Answer me! But though he repeated the question, the man remained silent. Kano took out a pair of handcuffs and reached for the suspect's wrists, took out his phone to check in with Sasayama. Cuff the man first, right? Cuff the man first? You gotta? Yeah, it's gotta be A. Took out a pair of handcuffs and reached for the suspect's wrists. Equipment used by police officers to shackle suspects. In Japan, the belt that makes up part of an officer's duty uniform has a storage pouch for a pair of handcuffs. Pistol, handcuffs, baton. Don't let Kano be dumb. Oh? The man pulled a knife from his breast pocket and swung it right at Kano's face. Kano managed to jerk away in time, but his momentum carried him too far backwards and he sprawled onto the pavement. Damn! The suspect was already making a run for it.
Oh no!
Oh no indeed. Suddenly, a large car of foreign make skidded to a halt, blocking off the man's escape route. A tall Caucasian man jumped out. He wore sunglasses and a crisp suit. Now cornered, the fleeing suspect brandished his knife. Be careful! But Kano didn't even have time to finish shouting his warning. There was a metallic boing, and the knife went flying through the air. The man in the sunglasses had snapped his right foot up, sending the weapon flying. Is this Aki Part 2? As the attacker's jaw dropped in astonishment, the newcomer proceeded to elbow him right in the face. Damn! The blow connected and the suspect went down hard. Ow. The fallen man turned his head to look at Kano. His mouth moved as if he was attempting to say something. He never got it out. The man in the sunglasses kicked him in the face. With a groan, the perp slumped down, unconscious. Hey, Kano snapped. What the hell are you doing? He stormed over to the man with the sunglasses. The man nonchalantly dusted off his suit. You were ordered to watch and see where these guys went, right? He spoke in fluent Japanese. Imagine that you are a Japanese person who has never been in a situation where you suddenly had to speak to a foreigner. You haven't used English in ages. Your tension grows. You think back to English class in school, but nothing you remember is helpful. You muster up the courage to choke out a stammered, Do you... The foreigner responds fluently in your own language. Nihongo de Daijobu desu? It's alright. I speak Japanese. What happened to the Japanese sense of honor I've heard so much about? Who are you? I'm from the U.S. Embassy's Regional Security Office, the man replied. An embassy is where ambassadors from a foreign country lodge and conduct much of their official diplomatic business. Under international law, ambassadors are guaranteed diplomatic immunity, and the embassy grounds are considered territory of the home nation. The U.S. Embassy's Regional Security Office is responsible for the security of American diplomatic facilities and personnel and provides American citizens in Japan with information on public order. It is located in Akasaka in the Minato ward of the Tokyo metropolis. He presented Kano with his ID. Jack Stanley. Oh man, that's so expired by now. Jack Stanley. His title was listed as Security Assistance Officer. Kano glanced at the car he'd shown up in. The license plate was blue with white lettering. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs? But the ministry wouldn't just send some diplomat to intervene in a police investigation. That's such an American name, yeah. It may as well have just been John Smith, like. Signatures Sean Hancock? I didn't notice that. That's a nice catch. Kano pulled his phone out of his pocket. Sasayama's name was displayed across the LCD screen. How are things on your end, Kano? I have the suspect in custody. How about you? Sasayama hesitated. He, got away from me. What about the attaché case? I'm sorry, but he's still got to be around here somewhere. I'm gonna look around some more. Sasayama hung up. How? How? What's your name, detective? Jack Stanley asked as Kano was processing this new information. Kano, from the Shibuya precinct. Alright, Kano. I'm going to need you to follow my instructions for the next while. Why's that? Instead of answering, Stanley took out his cell phone and made a quick call. After a few moments, he held the phone out for Kano. Here, permission from your boss, he said. What? Kano squawked. He took the phone gingerly, bracing himself. Kano speaking. You imbecile! What the hell were you thinking? It was Kuze, and he was furious. Understandably so, really. Kano had disobeyed a direct order, and for what? All he'd accomplished was losing track of the attaché case. I'm sorry, sir. You really think sorry is gonna cut it? You're off the force, Kano. Kano slumped, defeated. He had no reply. He knew he deserved whatever punishment he got. Still, orders from up top don't trump the hostage's safety. If he could have gone back and done it all again, he was sure he'd make the same call. Maybe that meant he wasn't detective material, but so be it. That's what I want to tell you, Kuze continued. But for now, I need you to follow the instructions of the guy there, Stanley. Do whatever he tells you. Sir? Kano hadn't seen that one coming. Way to just lead with a, I want to tell you you're fired. Kano he disobeyed orders. That was undeniable. And yes, he knew he deserved a reprimand. But being ordered to tag along with some stranger who just turned up out of the blue? Excuse me, what the heck? May I ask why the US Embassy is involved with this? No more questions, Kano. Step in line. Oh, man. Because the US Embassy is behind this. The US Embassy is absolutely... Well, it's not that they're the big dogs. Remember, Osawa's whole underlying storyline is he wants to go to America because the Americans want his research and him as a researcher, but his company and his wife want to keep him here, presumably his daughters too. So, kidnap a daughter, scare them away, maybe take away a bunch of their money so they're looking for bigger, better employment. Maybe this whole thing is just one big, way to be like, we need this guy in America. Let's pull some strings. Please, just hold on. I don't really know why that would... The bit of that doesn't add up is why occupy the whole police force? Why not send out a smaller subset? Why keep splitting the police force? Oh yeah, it's a very elaborate way of doing things, but it is potentially feasible at this rate. I'm just tossing out ideas. But it could hold water? Maybe, but if I'm right, they're clearly in contact with the higher-ups of the police who have told them don't make a move. So why try and occupy more of them? If they were told directly don't take action, you could have done it with half as many people, I guess. I don't know. It seems weird to involve so many cops unless you're also trying to hide something else. And there's a ton of cops at his apartment building. But they might be in on it. We know there's something at least a little fishy about Banana Man, right? At least a little fishy? I'm not saying my theory holds water, I'm just saying that's what I'm thinking now. There are definitely holes in it that could need some explaining. But that's my theory for the moment. I have no idea what's going on here. Kuze let out an exasperated sigh. That makes two of us, kid. Also be behind such an elaborate plot? Damn it. And he'd be American too, it would check out even more. And with that, the director hung up. Damn it, you're right, Wesker's the only person. Maybe they're really after Hitomi? Maybe. It sounded like even Kuze didn't have the whole story here, which meant that orders were coming from someplace higher. A foreign syndicate moving the ransom around the US Embassy. Whatever was going on, it was more than just a local kidnapping case, and Kano was deep in the middle of it. He handed the phone back to Stanley. A few moments later, two detectives from the MPD arrived on the scene. Stanley handed over the fallen criminal to them. You're chasing a bum lead, you know, Stanley said as he watched them carry the man away. What do you mean? Kano asked. I mean, this kidnapping isn't about the money. My priority is the girl's safety. Right now your priority is doing what I tell you to do. Oh. Kano gave him a scowl. Yeah, good, but Stanley ignored it. That guy we just, arrested, he said. He tell you anything? No, nothing. Really now? All traces of emotion drained from Stanley's eyes. His gaze pierced Kano like icy daggers. It held a glimmer of something dangerous. Yeah, there's a conspiracy going on here. Something Kano had seen plenty of times since he joined the force. He wasn't looking into the eyes of some diplomatic liaison. No. This was a man who knew how to kill, who'd killed people before. With some effort, Kano managed to regather his sense of professionalism. Why so Wesker? He didn't tell me anything, he repeated. I just know that he's a member of some foreign crime syndicate that works out of Shibuya. Probably knows some of their hangouts. Show me, Stanley said, cool as an automaton. We'll take my car. Kano wiped away some of the sweat that had beaded on his brow as they headed toward the vehicle. He was just sliding into the passenger seat when Kuze radioed over the wireless. Okie dokie, folks, listen up. The childish tone was back in his voice, full force. Kano stiffened on reflex. He knew what that meant. So, Hitomi Osawa has, like, gone missing. What? Kano couldn't believe his ears. Wasn't Tateno supposed to be protecting her right now? Also, Detective Tateno hasn't radioed in. And, like, we can't reach him from our end either. I like to think that his, childish voice is Valley Girl, Painwheel, clearly. Like, when he gets stressed out, he just goes to that voice. No way, Kano blurted out. It can't be. So yeah, Kuze continued. He might have got caught up in this incident, too. And Tenno, the one who threw... Yeah, I don't think so. It wasn't like a detective to Tenno's stature to go incommunicado during an investigation. I think we saw his face during a flashback, and I don't think it matched that guy, but I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. And I wasn't thinking of comparing faces, so... Well, Tateno's the guy who poured gasoline all over himself. He's the reason that our man here... He's Dick Dictum guy. He's that guy. So we saw him in a flashback, I think. Did we see his face, though? I don't remember. But that's who they're talking about. Like, his big hero idol. It could only mean that something had happened to him. Something major. But I wasn't really paying attention, so, like, maybe? We did see him pork out and said, alright, we are done with this chapter block. Next hour, here we come. Oh man, so we know at least 2 chapters are going to collide, because Tama and Reporter Man are absolutely going to both go to the same place. I don't really know what else is going to collide here, but like... Oh yeah, our little preview. I would do anything, whatever it took. That was sarcasm, wasn't it? Time's up. I'll pay you double what they're worth. Any evidence has been covered up. From 1 to 2 p.m. I love this music, too. Alright. Who can you trust? Nobody. So, I feel like I don't even have to ask. We all know who we start with, right? Like, there's no questioning this. It's gotta be Tama. Like, no hesitation, no... Do we have a... Oh, I don't have a Nya. I need a Himiko Nya, don't I? Bottles of burning hammer litter the pavement, shattered into tiny bits of glass. In fact, I'm pretty sure that was what I was originally looking for when I went to go through, Do we have a Mitsuna command? I'm pretty sure when I was going through Himiko Sounds, that's what I was looking for, but I ended up not finding that, because I could only find the ones from the demo for the game, which wasn't the full sound list at that point. So I could only find certain ones, which is why we have Magic and Explosion, but I didn't find any. I think I probably have a file for Mitsuna that they recorded, but I probably didn't make it a sound command for some stupid reason. Bottles of burning hammer litter the pavement, shattered into tiny bits of glass. Even if the recycling guy was really careless with the boxes, it shouldn't have caused this much of a mess. Looks like someone came along and actually threw them all over the place. Does, doesn't it? The heck with this thing? Oh no. I toss away the Miracle Stone, which has clearly brought me only bad luck. We can't have a product demo without a product. Which in turn means I won't be getting paid for this whole fiasco. Okay, we can do this. Can you now, though? We can figure something out. I try to give myself a pep talk, but I hear the doubt in my own voice. I try to brainstorm anyway. Finding inspiration is like trying to squeeze blood from a stone. I rack my mind for the best course of action, and at long last, I arrive at a conclusion. Going to have to sell some burning hammer, I'll just have to find something else to sell. It's gotta be A, right? Like, if it was B, then the eel one would have worked earlier. So it's gotta be A. That's what I feel, at least. Somehow or another, I'm going to have to sell some burning hammer. The flyers have already been handed out. People have come to the demo expecting to get burning hammer. I may have to put it into some new bottles, and possibly water it down some, but getting the stuff sold is my only option. Oh no, my eyes alight on one of the cardboard boxes, and I notice an odd mark that's stamped on it. Yeah, that's... wait a sec. I've seen this before. Yeah, it's like the mascot, it's all... Is their tagline, "It makes you happy." Also true, Ramen. Probably a legitimate improvement. I recall something Chiri said earlier. This is the sort of thing they'd sell in 100 yen shops or something. Oh my god. It comes full circle. It all comes full circle. That's it. I can see if there's more at the knick-knack shop.
Oh no!
Guided by this ray of hope. A glimmer, a sliver, the ever-dwindling light in the distance. Point is, there's not much. I head for the knick-knack shop as fast as I can run. Just imagine that little cat mascot outfit, full sprint down the streets of Tokyo. No, no! Chiri! As soon as I reach the main road, I crash right into someone. Could it be? It's Chiri! Oh hey, you find it? She asks. She makes it sound like it's not really her problem. Not yet, but I think we can stock up at the 100 yen shop. The words are hard to get out when I'm panting as hard as I am. She could be there to see that. Yeah. Just zoom. For now, just stay calm and go let the boss know. Got it. Leave it to me. Sherry nods, and I break back into a run. This is some running music, yo. I'm practically praying as I rush into the knick-knack shop, where I immediately spot the cardboard boxes I saw earlier. Still stacked up. I wasn't even thinking of looking when that happened. Like, I wonder if we go back to that time, if the box was like super clearly there, like super obviously. Yes, I'm in luck. I dive into one of the boxes to check what's inside. Yeah, it's very tavern music, you're right. It's packed with tiny bottles. There's no mistaking the noxious red liquid inside. That's Burning Hammer, alright. There's 50 bottles per box. This one. And there are 4 boxes total. Assuming each bottle is 100 yen, including tax, I can buy the whole lot with the 20,000 I've got in my wallet. Mr. Bossman said he was selling the bottles at the demo for 15,000 yen apiece. That way, if we sell all 200 bottles, he'll be able to pay back his debts no problem. Whoa, what's the deal with you? Oh, the sales clerk's eyes go wide when he sees my getup. This stuff. I'd like your entire stock. I point at the burning hammer, and the clerk makes an awkward face. How are you going to carry that? You're going to drop it. Oh, he got super ripped off, yeah. Super ripped off. I'm afraid that's already been sold. What? Wait, isn't this the guy from the bike and the garbage earlier? It's still him. He's the mastermind. He's Wesker. He's the true Wesker behind it all. You mean like, all of it? Nobody in their right mind could possibly want all of this. Yes, all of it, I'm afraid. Well, I'm not going to roll over that easily. Whether I earn that extra 20,000 or not hinges on whether I can get this stuff. You sure? Yeah, that's true. Please, you've got to help me out. Well, maybe that somehow... I mean, she wants that necklace. Her entire character arc right now is wants to buy that necklace. He's selling that necklace. Maybe he knocked her out. Maybe he's pulling the strings somehow here. It somehow checks out, don't worry about it. I'm afraid it's out of my hands. Then could you get in touch with the buyer? Tell them I'm willing to negotiate. I suppose that wouldn't be an issue, but... Actually, would you mind waiting for just a moment? She said she'd be by ASAP. Tell me it's not Cherry. No. She already left. After 5 minutes of waiting, the buyer still hasn't shown up. This is just a straight up drug deal. Like, this is framed absolutely like a drug deal going on. Maybe oh man, that would be interesting. I don't think she's coming, I say. That's odd, the sales clerk murmurs. She said on the phone she'd come by just after 1 o'clock to pick them up. I really need this right away. I understand that, but please, it's out of my hands. By now, the sales demo had already started. Oh man, if it's Chiaki, I'll... If I come back empty-handed, what was the point of all this effort? Gimme. I've already said I can't do that. Gimme. You please wait a moment? Grr, why did I spend all that time trying to hand out samples? Why did I put this stupid costume on? Why did I miss out on lunch? Why? What was it all for? Eek, look over there. It's the Chupacabra. Huh? This is the type of tactic that would absolutely work on the Judge from Phoenix Wright. Let's be honest here. 100% this would work on the Judge from Phoenix Wright. Yoink! Seizing the moment, I snatch up the boxes of burning hammer and make a run for it. Hey, hold it right there, miss. The sales clerk is quick to bar my path. And again, Tama's story is the best of all of them. Woof. I barrel my way right past him. She can't see a thing. She can't see a thing. I bump him harder than intended as I race by. He loses his balance and goes crashing through the display case at the front of the shop. Oh no. At the same time, I hear something else topple over with a thud and a gurgle. Oh no.
Oh no!
Some sort of liquid begins to gush from a red polyethylene container. Uh-oh! The sales clerk's eyes go wide, his stare fixed on something on the sidewalk nearby. It's a cigarette. The burning butt ignites the liquid in a sudden massive blaze. Did we just kill a man and end his whole career? And now for today's news. Shortly after 1 o'clock this afternoon, there was an explosion at a variety store in this part of Shibuya, the cause of which remains unknown. Eyewitnesses report seeing an individual wearing a full-body cat costume fleeing the scene in the aftermath of the explosion. Police consider this individual a person of interest, and have not ruled out the possibility that this bombing was a terrorist act. Several hours after the incident, the cat remains at large. We got away. With the stuff, no less. We may have straight up killed a man and blown up his livelihood. We made it out, though. Fled the country. Oh, we did just straight. That's what the plan was. No, we killed Wesker. Tama wound up as the prime suspect in an apparent terrorist bombing. If the buyer had shown up earlier, Tama's argument with the sales clerk might never have happened, to say nothing of the rest. As a matter of fact, the buyer was just outside the shop at the crucial moment. She was held up when she happened to run into someone. That someone's actions at 13:05 are the key to changing Tama's fate. Cool. We murdered a man. I can't believe the Chupacabra line worked. Alright, so realistically, if we want to make Tama go further, whose line do we go to? Not Osawa, he's in his house, so there's no way that 5 minutes later he's talking with somebody who's smoking a cigarette outside, right? I would say it's Minorikawa. It's gotta be Minorikawa, right? He has a reason. Oh, no, we're not directly in the area, actually. I'm gonna follow the pattern we've been going, which is we hit Aki second. Like, when Tama's done or locked up, we hit Aki second. So, like, true, he's at the event, you're right. I keep thinking she's closer to it, she's not. I don't think Aki is going to solve Tama's problem, but we also left off on a cliffhanger for Aki, and I want to find out how that goes. So, also, hello Rose, welcome to Viperland in the chat, how you doing tonight? Yeah, we left off on the guy following us knows our name and is trying to protect us, which is interesting, and I want to find more about that, so let's go. The man with the cane... Yeah, he does get the biggest cliffhangers, doesn't he? The man with the cane crooked his finger in the trigger. Aki stepped in front of Hitomi, shielding her with his body. If you want to shoot her, you have to shoot me too. Suddenly, the assassin's head jerked forward. He pitched face first into the pavement and lay still, revealing a foreign man standing behind him. In one hand, the stranger clutched a metal pipe. Hitomi, Aki asked.
Oh, no.
You know that guy? Hitomi's eyes went wide. That's the man from the Scramble. Yeah, that was the OG briefcase guy, right? The one who told me to go to the van. Wait, one of the kidnappers? Why would he help us? Not sure. The newcomer fixed his gaze on Aki. Hey man, Aki approached the stranger. Not sure what's going on here, but thanks for the assist. Whoa! The man took a sudden swing with his pipe. Aki barely managed to dodge out of the way. What the hell? Once again, Aki made sure Hitomi was safely behind him. Guess I gotta let my fist do the talking. Oh, Aki gonna murder a man again. Aki quickly adopted a fighting stance. Oh yeah, whatever actor is playing that dude, having the time of his life. So much of this cast is clearly having a great time with this. Be careful, Hitomi warned, her voice trembling. Look at this. Don't worry. It's just a pipe. Yeah, it's just a pipe that is solid metal, gives him drastically further reach than you, and way more destructive impact. It's actually really, really leaning things in his favor, I would think. I'll just snatch it away from him and make him tell us where your sister is. He can hear you. You're a foot away from him. He can hear everything you're saying. Aki judged the distance between them carefully as he stared his opponent down. The metal pipe gave this thug considerable reach, that's what I was trying to say. One solid hit from that thing and Aki wouldn't stand a chance. Okay, so he's at least thinking about that. He needed to end this in one punch. This is Saitama's origin story. This right here is the actual Saitama origin story. The crook sized him up for a few moments, then lunged forward to attack. Now. Wait, no, not now. There. Saitama is Aki in disguise. Aki sidestepped to avoid the incoming blow, then delivered a vicious left hook to his adversary's jaw. The man went down hard. Holy crap, Aki! Okay. Aki is OP as hell. Aki gazed at his fallen foe, flexing his knuckles. Wait. He's very strong, almost comically so, but he's very stupid. Is Aki a himbo? He's not physically super buff. He's not weak looking clearly, but like, does it count? The thing about guys who bring weapons to fights is they always let themselves get too cocky. Skull. He looks at the guy over. The man had a tattoo peeking from one of his ratty sleeves. Come on, buddy. You can't clock out just yet, Aki said. You should have punched him less hard then. Get up. I got a few questions for you. He knelt down to grab the man by his collar. Well, halfway to his feet, the man pulled a gun from his breast pocket. Whoa, didn't know you were packing heat. Aki took a quick step backwards. I'd argue that's the wrong call. You probably should have stepped closer and to the side, but I don't know. To be fair, if somebody pulled a gun on me, I would 100% take a step backwards, so like, you know. The man's eyes brimmed with rage. He looked ready to pull the trigger at any moment. But he didn't get the chance. The man with the cane had regained consciousness, back on his feet. He trained his own gun on the foreigner. The foreigner quickly shifted his attention to the other gunman. Oh no you don't! Aki darted forward and kicked the kidnapper in the hand as hard as he could. Aki is OP as hell. The gun went flying from his grasp. With a low snarl, the man took up the metal pipe again. Rather than go for Aki, however, he charged the man with the cane. What the? Aki watched in astonishment as the two men grappled. Yeah, really good time to leave, honestly. Now's our chance. Grabbing Hitomi by the hand, Aki broke into a run. Yeah, get the hell out of there. It's only a shame that they didn't like Photoshop in like sparks clashing from like the pipe and the cane. Excuse me. They ran for a long time, finally stopping to rest in a quiet municipal park. As they sat, catching their breath, Aki sensed a new tension in Hitomi. She hadn't said a word since their last escape. She has to die, Aki. It's for your own good. Hitomi running in those shoes? Good question. Mind you, I couldn't, but I've seen many women so adept at running in heels, or walking, running, doing whatever in heels that, you know, I assume you just get good at it eventually. I couldn't. I snap an ankle 100% likely within the first 30 seconds, but like, skills? I remember seeing pictures of, I think it was Rihanna at the time, but I remember seeing like pictures of people freaking out, like Rihanna walking over like those New York City grates in heels, like stiletto heels, and it's like, how? She's magic. In his mind, Aki replayed what the man with the cane had said. So, he told me. Aki hesitated. Now what happened back there? Yeah? She sounded like she'd been far gone in her own thoughts. You gotta believe me, I have no idea who that guy was. Never seen him before in my life. He must have been saying that stuff to confuse us, to trip us up. Yeah? You told me said again? Is that what's been bothering you? Huh? Now it was Aki's turn to go monosyllabic. Well, Aki, you're kind of famous around Shibuya, right? I don't know about that. Way back when, he'd been the leader of SOS. Nowadays, he was just some guy who picked up trash. That was nothing to brag about. When someone's famous, it's not unusual for someone else to recognize them and know their name. She's real SOP, yeah. I'm beginning to think if he had stayed as the leader of SOS, they actually could have stopped a ton of the crime in the city. So yeah, I was surprised back there, but no matter what that man may have said, I trust you. I mean, look at how many times you've put yourself in danger to protect me. I'm glad they didn't run with that angle. Like, she was clearly shocked at first, but I'm glad she was like, no. He's clearly, like, he's put himself literally in harm's way multiple times, so I'm glad they didn't go down, like, that path. Hitomi sounded pretty resolute. That's a really weird focus on Aki. Like, really weird. Also, hey Birdie, how's it going tonight? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. That's true, she could be playing it up. But they just said how resolute she sounds. So I'm gonna go with following the information they give us. She could be, you're right. But also, how's it going, Birdie? Thank you for the host. Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Aki was glad that she believed him, but that raised another question. So then, how come you've been so quiet? I've just been thinking about things, like what that man from the Scramble might be after. It was true that his actions didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, he seemed more interested in taking out the man with the cane than going after you. I could have saw his daughter be dubious in any nature. Oh, no, of course. Maybe there's bad blood between them. Maybe it was a case of mistaken identity. Neither of those sound... Oh, it's gotta be bad blood, right? It's like this one... No. No. To be fair, this one is an Aki answer. This one, probably the better answer. So we're gonna go bad blood. Maybe there's bad blood between them. Aki let out a little chuckle. If we're lucky, maybe they'll take each other out for us. He felt a rush of relief, reassured that Hitomi didn't doubt his motives. Regardless, though, we have to track down that blue van. The sound of a child's cry came from behind them. What? How did he miss out on the training course for dad reflexes? How did he miss out on that so badly? Look at that faceplant shot, though. Like, there is so much. In this one photo, there is so much, like... He's a really bad father. Like, he may be my least favorite, like, non-active, like, villainous character in this game so far. In a game full of, like, characters that are at least interesting and cool, he is inept, tried to kill himself in a place where his daughter would clearly find him, his very young daughter, and has just been bad at everything he's done so far. He's been Wesker all along. Turning to look, they saw the kidnapper rushing towards them. He had knocked over a little girl who was in his way. It's like the arms up, face, it's just straight face to the ground, like... No rest for the weary, Aki sighed. Also, how does he end up involved in, like, every storyline? Yet again, he and Hitomi sprinted away. Wesker is many things, but he's not suicidal or... Yeah, suicidal's not one of them, that's fair. Do you think he took out the guy with the cane? Hitomi's words came between panted huffs. Really should have left it. Yeah, right, honestly. Maybe. Aki glanced back at the pursuer. What? There was someone else with him. Now they were being chased down by two foreigners. I like this better when we were just running from one guy with a cane. In a one-on-one fight, Aki was confident he could keep Hitomi safe. One-on-two, though, that was a different story. One guy might get a hold of her while he was facing off against the other. He had to make sure they lost these creeps no matter what. Is that Kylo? A little bit. Okay, so we already got a locked out part here. Okay. We have no ways to go back to it yet, so we'll just have to pick another story. Who do we usually hit third? I feel like we usually hit Minorikawa, right? I feel like we now have a fairly standard order. Yeah, usually Minorikawa. Kurosawa, that's fair. I feel like Minorikawa will have spoilers for Tama, potentially. I also feel like Minorikawa, no. So it's gotta be Kano. It's gotta be Kano that frees Tama from her spot, right? I don't know. I'm gonna hit Midorikawa. Kano's probably the way to go, but I'm gonna try to stick to my usual order, just for the hell of it. No better reason. Right. Left. Minorikawa sprinted down Center Guy, dodging between oncoming pedestrians. Any more Phoenix wrong? Yes. Out of my way! Can't you people see I'm in a hurry? I'm important! What are you doing standing there? He stole a glimpse at his watch as he ran. It was just after 1 o'clock. The Burning Hammer sales demo would be getting underway any moment now. He'd probably get an interview even if he showed up late. Still, he wanted to get to the venue ASAP to get a feel for things before they got started. The best time to scope out an event was before it started and after it ended. This is something he learned from Toyama. Everything he knew about journalism, the publisher had taught him. So I guess Toyama's good at something. It's not living, not being a father, not having good reflexes, it's not having common sense, it's not business practice, it's not even judging the correct length of hose you would need to use to continue living, to cease living. He's not even good at not living. He's not good at a lot of things. Only teach journalism, nothing else. It's a D&D character that put all their points into one thing, and it's not a very useful thing. And they're like, you go to them and you're like, you know, you can put some stats into the other stats. You don't have to put it all into charisma. They're like, no. All into charisma. Like, but you're going to have a 0 in all the other stats. You have some points left, and they're like, you heard me. Nothing else. It had been a competitive education. Minorikawa learning despite himself as the two men constantly butted heads. Strength as a mage, yes, exactly. Oh, give me a break. What's wrong with my article? Minorikawa shouted. His voice was loud enough to carry throughout the editing department. Shut up! I told you to rewrite it, so rewrite it. Toyama sticking to his guns. Minorikawa recalled the scene from the days when the two men had worked at the same newspaper, and Toyama was his boss. At the time, Toyama was the copy editor for local news. Known as the Red Pen Gatekeeper, he would go around checking young reporters' copy like mad. Due to his vigorous efforts, a great many articles never made it to the page. You'd never know now. What's wrong with it? Show me what's wrong. All of it. How can it be all of it? Coworkers stared, keeping their distance as the pairs screamed themselves right in the face. These arguments had become a regular occurrence, regular enough that everyone had learned not to try and intervene. I poured my heart and soul into this piece. Go back and read it again. I could read it over and over, and it'd still be the same thing. A load of self-important claptrap. Hey, claptrap. Now go calm down and write me a more neutral piece. Taking neither of two opposing sides, the media typically seeks to adopt a neutral stance in reporting the news. Not in America. Frequently, however, biased reporting still results in one-sided thinking, taking hold amongst the general public. In this end, it is up to the individual to make an objective assessment of any news event. Calm down? You must be joking. I write what I feel in my heart. That's the one thing I refuse to back down on. Then, it's the one thing that'll keep getting your copy rejected. Aren't you the one who told me to be bold and daring with my writing? Yeah, I did. But I don't remember telling you to write me garbage. You know, this version of the guy, better, cooler, more impressive, has some personality besides sucks. By now, Minorikawa and Toyama were practically at each other's throats. Still, despite these almost daily shouting matches, Minorikawa never resented Toyama. Not really. How could he write a piece in a way that would shut Toyama up? Trying to figure that out was how he had developed his skills as a reporter. Lost his mind with middle age. This is what happens. didn't make sense. Up until he quit his position at the newspaper to start up his own publishing company, Toyama had been a stubborn old man, in the finest sense of the term. Now a dying breed in Japan, the sort who'd be inclined to use knuckles before words to remedy a child's bad behavior. Inflexible, but still emotionally brittle. Their signature move is to drive a wayward kid out of the house with the exclamation, "You fool! You're no son of mine! I disown you!" Only to wait a while, go find the son who's crying down by the riverbed, and calmly remember, "Come on, your supper is getting cold." I'm glad that's a dying breed. Very, very glad. It's not something people should look up to. But then, in order to keep his company afloat, at some point he abandoned all his ideals and principles. Yeah, that's not a good trait. It was disgraceful. Just disgraceful. Thinking about it made Minorikawa's blood boil. It rankled him to know that such a pathetic remnant of a man had been such an influence on him. I'm glad even he's like, yeah, no, the current version just sucks. He reminded himself once again that he needed to wrap up his current job as soon as possible. By now, Minorikawa was getting close to the demo site. He increased his speed. It was him all along. He wound up barreling right into somebody who was walking into a knick-knack shop. It was a girl about high school age. Von Dutch? She jumped to her feet, then snatched Minorikawa by the collar. A newly opened general variety store. It's a new store, too. This man is suspicious. It's new, it's plot relevant, it gets bombed, it's got burning hammer, it's got the magic necklace. Place is primarily a second-hand shop, with posters inside proclaiming things like, "We'll take what you don't need, and we buy computers at top prices." She jumped to her feet and then snatched Minorikawa by the collar. "Hey, watch where you're going," she snapped. Beat his ass. Her upper body strength was impressive, to say the least. The chokehold she had on his neck made it almost impossible for him to breathe. He had to do something fast. Sorry, he bowed his head in apology. "Take this!" Alright, it's clearly the wrong answer. We have to pick it, right? Like, it's a bad end. But we have to pick it, right? We have to. I'm picking this option. I know it's wrong. A, it'll get us a bad end. B, you definitely shouldn't punch people, especially when you're in the wrong, but like, we have to see how this plays out. Take this! He drove a punch right into the girl's flank. Oh god. Oh man. This is better than I expected already. To his amazement, the girl shrugged off the blow, as if it were nothing. Her grip on his collar tightened further. He's dead. "Oh, you want to throw down, huh?" she sneered. Shifting, but to be fair, anybody who's going to buy that much supply of burning hammer can take anything. Like, if you're just going to drink that. Shifting position suddenly, she snatched Minorikawa by the hair and dragged him out into the road. He's dead. He's gonna die. Oh! Before he could process the trouble he was in, it was already too late. Now's a good time to blow my nose. Just give me a second. Let's just let this play on loop for a few seconds. Also, hello Sasabune, welcome to Viperland in the chat. You've joined at the perfect time. But hands down, this is the perfect time. Can it be a sub-follow? What, just this gif? What music would go with it? Like, I'm down for that. I'll save the clip, but like, what music would we put with that? I'm just gonna give it enough time that like, a few rotations will happen so I have something to clip. There you go. JoJo music. Just aura. Just speed it up a bit. cowered away from her, shielding his face with his arms, only to feel the impact of a rain of punches and kicks on his exposed back and sides. It's really just a punch, but like, pain shot through his body as each blow landed with a perversely satisfying thump. And then the pain continued to intensify. Oh crap, I'm going to die here, aren't I? Never thought my life would end so soon. She beat him to death. Huh? His assailant paused suddenly. Wait, don't I know you? She stared down into his face. We haven't seen her before, right? She's definitely a new character to us during this game. Hey, you're Mr. Minorikawa. Shocked to hear his own name, Minorikawa peered up at the girl. Miku? Miku? If this isn't a bad end, I'll be shocked. Yeah, well, so you do remember me. Her tone was bubbly, as if the beating she'd been dishing was all fun and games. Sorry, I didn't realize it was you. So, that's true, they might be about to explode. We can already agree she's best character, right? Like, she's already confirmed best girl, like... Right? Well, she dragged him into the road, so they're at least far enough they wouldn't hopefully explode themselves? She held out a hand to help Minorikawa back to his feet. Wow, how long's it been, she asked. About 5 years, I think, he said cautiously. You, still doing your bonsai stuff? Nah, she replied. I gave that up, went full bodybuilding. Miku had been Japan's bonsai champion back when she was in middle school. I think bonsai's really cool. I wish I knew how to do it, because I would love the idea of like a little mini tree around. I didn't know that was something you could have a competitive aspect to, but at the same time, like, cool. Like, apparently, like, starting a bonsai tree is really hard, otherwise I would love to have, like, a tiny little tree around. Instead, I kind of veered towards the terrarium side of things. Sorry. Man, it's a little more than my leg. Okay. One day, local delinquents had vandalized dozens of Miku's bonsai pieces. Oh, that's gotta suck. Those take so long. Minorikawa had met her when he interviewed her about the incident. I want to get strong, she had said. I want to be able to beat those guys up. She succeeded. That's the wrong choice? Yeah, it is. Too bad. I mean, to be fair, maybe letting... I don't know. Yeah, they all dead, yeah. And so Minorikawa had introduced Miku to an acquaintance of his who ran a martial arts dojo. It worked. Man, you sure have gotten strong, Minorikawa said. Well, that's the sort of gal I am. Miku handed him a flyer. She's the best character in this game. I don't know what it says, but I see bride in big letters and a bunch of JoJo characters in two-piece bathing suits, and it doesn't matter what it says at this rate. Ladies, mixed martial arts, pub battle, a pub bride. Present this flyer for a free drink. It's a place where you can watch girls fight in the ring while you have some drinks, Miku said. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Minorikawa could feel himself being pulled in all the wrong directions by the prospect. You should come see one of my matches sometimes. I'm the current champion there. I believe it. We've known her for minutes. I believe it. It's just that area in Yakuza? Yeah, kinda. No spoilers. I started to go back to the story in Yakuza because I finished the real estate minigame. And I do like the prize you get for the real estate minigame. I think Potions finished that, right? I think Potions said they specifically did finish the real estate stuff, because I clearly took a long while on it. The prize is clearly nice. I need to get used to it, but it's nice. Wait, you're the champion? Do you doubt it with the pummeling you just got? Is Thomas supposed to even escape the country without taking the mascot costume off? Don't worry about it. Well, the thing is, we know she can, like, cut herself out of it. Like, there are ways she could get out, but they'd lose the deposit. But if you're a fugitive who just blew up a guy's store and probably killed him, you don't care and you just snip it off. Super incognito, true. And as soon as she gets out of the costume, nobody will know her. Period. We don't want to know her. Well, he'd seen firsthand, yeah, how strong she was, exactly. Miku nodded. What are you up to now? She asked. Working? Yeah, running around, trying to get interviews. Right now I'm headed to, what was it again? Nokane building? That's it. Oh, I can take you there. She said, I can use the exercise. Now if you'll beg my pardon. Miku casually lifted Minorikawa onto her back and broke into a jog. Before long, they arrived at the Nokane building. Minorikawa thanked Miku as she set him down on the sidewalk, and the two parted ways. If she doesn't come back into the story in some way, shape, or form, I'm going to be sad. I also can't believe that that wasn't a bad end. That had bad ending written all over that choice. Like, he himself was like, this is how I die. This is how I die. Oh no, yeah, her confronting Tama? I don't even know. At long last, he arrived at the Nokane building, where the event was being held. A little late, I imagine, but whatever. The wall by the elevator was plastered with posters about Burning Hammer. Get it or regret it. As seen in magazines. 100% weight loss guaranteed. This is blatantly false advertising. The messaging was kind of a mess. It felt like they'd been thrown together at the last minute. They probably have. There's a moth in my room and I keep catching glimpses of it. It's a small one. Didn't Tama have a sister? We are suspecting that, but I don't think we know for sure. She has lost her memories. I am suspecting that Tama is the sister of Hitomi, but that's just me theorizing now. We don't know in-game. You die, so it's accurate. That's fair. Minorikawa avoided the elevator in favor of the stairs, rushing up to the event site on the 3rd floor. But yeah, that's my theory for sure. Emerging from the stairwell, he saw more posters on the wall, pointing the way to the sales demo. He followed the arrows to a room deeper within the building. Opening the door, he saw about 50 chairs, most of them occupied by female attendees. There was a stage set up at the far end of the room, but nobody was on it. It appeared that the event had yet to begin. Minorikawa quickly looked over the crowd. Roughly half the women were somewhat elderly. All of them looked like they could stand to lose some weight. And for some of them, at least that ship had surely sailed some time ago. The crowd gazed at the stage with rapt anticipation. A beverage that allowed you to eat plenty and still lose weight was definitely an appetizing proposition. I feel like not only does it make you sweat it out, but let's be honest, that drink is going to come flying out of your body at a high velocity, so maybe it will also keep you from retaining any nutrients from anything you eat too. I don't know. Yeah, it was the cockroach stuff. Before that, I wouldn't even have thought about it, but the cockroach stuff was like, suspicious. Could something like that really exist though? There's still holes in that story for sure, in that theory, but like, a little suspicious. Ah well. Minorikawa was just going to have to wait and see. Oh dang, a new ticket, hell yeah. He did his best to get his mind into journalism mode. Time passed, but the demo didn't start. The audience began grumbling in frustration. Then a heavy-set young woman took the stage and gave a little bow. It was the girl from the cafe, the one with the amazing appetite. The audience broke into applause, their patience finally rewarded. But as everyone leaned forward expectantly, the girl on stage began performing magic tricks. Oh, hold on. I've got eyes on the moth. If I can get it in my hands and bring it outside, I'd like to do so. Can't. Okay, got it in my hand. I'm gonna go run it outside. I'll be right back.
I feel like it's only the streams I'm going to send to YouTube where bugs get in here. And I know what it is. It's because there's gaps around the air conditioner. I filled them with tape the best I can, but it's an old air conditioning. So, like, I get why they're getting in. Okay.
It's magic.
But as everyone leaned forward expectantly, the girl on the stage began performing magic tricks. And it was also a very small moth. They're just the tiny little moths around here. I just saw it kind of, like, off in the distance behind the monitor, but I spotted it, like, on my drink cup, on the base of it. And I was like, aha, I can get that. She twiddled a silk hat and pulled a bunch of flowers from inside of it. She's entertaining. Sparse applause rose up from the crowd. The young woman immediately went on to perform another trick, and then another. Ta-da! A coin in her hand became 3 coins as she spoke her magic words. If her magic words are ta-da, then, you know. She's not very good at this, Minorikawa thought. Though whether she was good or bad wasn't really the issue. He had a tight schedule to keep. This was no time to stand around watching silly sleight of hand antics. Scanning the room, he spotted a man who looked like he was probably in charge. Minorikawa headed over to him. Hey, you, the one running this thing. Or, hey, you, the one running this thing? Well, yes? Where's the actual sales demo going? Or when's the actual sales demo going to start? Soon. Very soon. Yep. In how many minutes? You know, soon. I asked for a number. Just, soon. Real soon. This was getting him nowhere. 3 minutes, Minorikawa declared. He held up 3 fingers to emphasize his point. If this thing doesn't start in 3 minutes, it doesn't start, then what? Going to be heartbroken. Going to start a ruckus. I'm just gonna go home. I feel like this one appeals to him better. C. C's tempting too. I feel like A appeals to Mr. Bossman's tendency to get emotional. But I'm seeing a lot about C, so cool, we'll see. A feels correct, but like, if the chat all says C, I'm down for it. I'm down for, and bad ends just help me get closer to the platinum, so you know. I'm just gonna go home. He kept his tone clipped and cool. Hey now, no need for that, sir. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a silly little magic show now and then? You've got 2 minutes. Hey, a minute can't have passed already. 1 minute. Whoa! Just what kind of watch you got there? Tell me why the demo isn't starting. Ah, well, you know, no real reason, really. The man was getting seriously flustered. I just, you know, I wanted folks to get to see a little magic show first. Nope. Try again. 30 seconds left. Okay. Alright. What happened is, the required merchandise, What happened to the merchandise? Minorikawa demanded. He gave the guy a dagger stare. Ah, well, you know, it's just, Time's up. What? The man's face went pale. Oh, okay. So, do we go to another storyline, or do we go back to the start to see if we can help out Tama? Fix Tama. Okay, I kind of figured that was going to be the answer, but I guess I'd check anyway. All answers lead to Tama. Alright, so there, right? Yeah. Hitting the girl. I can't believe punching her was A, really badass in her favor, and B, the right call for him? Sorry. He bowed his head in apology. He was in too much of a hurry to get caught up in an argument now. But the girl didn't let go. Instead, she tightened her grip. Look, I'm sorry for not looking where I was going. Minorikawa could barely croak out his apology. Oh, fine. I'll let it slide this once, the girl said. She relaxed her hold with a scowl. Wait, hold on, she murmured. She stared good and hard at Minorikawa's face. Hey, you're Mr. Minorikawa! Surprised, Minorikawa gave her another look.
Miku? Yeah! Wow, so you do remember me! She smiled with delight, apparently forgetting that she'd just been wringing his neck. Seems like a non-decision to... Kinda. But I don't know... Well, we could always try other characters if this doesn't play out. Wow, how long's it been? She asked. About 5 years, I think? You still doing the bonsai stuff? She replied. I gave that up. Miku had been Japan's bonsai champion back when she was in high school. The mention of bonsai likely calls to mind elderly hobbyists, but recently, the art is attracting more young people, as are other aspects of Japanese-style interior design. Varieties of cherry and maple, smaller than normal bonsai, are becoming popular with practitioners, as are fruit-bearing trees such as plum-leaf apple. There are even spherical balls of soil covered in moss, shaped to look like cute little miniature planets, with plants growing over the surface. That actually sounds really cool. I would actually want one of those. Actually, like, for real. Seeing a dude getting shit beat out was it was fantastic. That was great. Not just having it happen, but just not so nonchalantly, like, yeah, I'm gonna sucker punch her in the side. Doesn't even flinch. Proceeds to try to beat him within an inch of his life. One day, local delinquents, yeah, this seems the same, actually. Oh yeah, strong, she had said, but that was a different... We didn't get the bonsai thing last time, right? That was different, if only slightly. So maybe it's different? It's enough to go on? Tuned in just to see that live? Yeah. Yeah, that was good. It still could play out different. Well, you've sure gotten stronger, alright. Yeah, sort of gal I am. Still the flyer, but a different look. Yeah, if she doesn't run him to the event, we stand a chance. Ladies, mixed martial art pub bride. A show pub that began as a side venture for a group of female mixed martial arts fighters who were facing financial difficulties. There's an octagonal ring inside the pub, and the rules state that anything goes between the young women who fit inside. Customers are able to take in the fights while enjoying their drinks. Present this flyer for a free drink. Oh, yeah. It's a place where you can watch girls fight in the ring while you have some drinks, Miku said. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Minorukawa could feel himself being pulled in, so it's still slightly different, though. Oh, depends on how long you were gone, Potions. Depends on how long you were gone. This girl beat the snot out of Minorukawa. Like, he thought he was gonna die. So, if you missed that, then you missed one of the best things on the night, I hate to say. Okay, you saw that. Then we're going back to the story to try the other option, because we kind of hit a dead end. Or we hit a keep out, which was actually the right call, which means punching her was the right decision, which is weird. But we're trying to fix Tama's storyline, so we went back up to it and picked the other option where we apologize. You should come see one of my matches sometimes. I'm the reigning champion. Miku beamed with pride. Wait, you're the champion? How do you... Oh, this time he didn't get a... Yikes, good thing I apologized when I did. Yes. In that case, I'll definitely have to swing by sometime soon. Right now, I'm in sort of a hurry, though. Oh, sure, Miku said. Catch you later, then. She headed into the shop as Minorukawa rushed off towards the sales demo. There you go. At long last, he arrived at the Okane building. Okay, I assume it plays out the same from here. Posters, yep, it's gotta play out the same. So, back to Tama we go. When in doubt, Tama time. Alright, let's not turn into a terrorist this time. And maybe not straight up murderer man. And the potions made it back in time for Tama time, which is good. No more terrorism. Yeah. Why would she buy all of this, though? Are these the free drinks they give out? You hear free drinks, you assume alcohol. Okay, I don't think I missed anything there. Why is it? Okay. Yep, Von Dutch. Even as I'm speaking with the sales clerk, a girl wearing a hoodie comes in. She's got a tiny frame and a doe-eyed face. Hey, I've come to pick up something I reserved, she says. This must be the customer the clerk was talking about. Please, pardon my intrusion, but would you be willing to let me have these diet drinks? I bow extra deep, and my costume head wobbles all around. Wait, what? I'll pay you double what they're worth. No can do. I've never seen this brand before. I'm super curious about it. And your curiosity made you buy an entire stock supply? Ugh. Surely you don't need this many, though? I do. I make my living with my body. This is about how much I'll need. She's one of the few people in this game so far that'd be like, no, you probably wouldn't die from this. Oh wow, the sales clerk interjects. What sort of work do you do exactly? I'm a martial artist. I fight at a place called Bride. You might have heard of it. It's one of the more popular hotspots in Shibuya these days. Oh, I know that place, the sales clerk says, brimming with sudden excitement. That pub where they have cosplay martial arts competitions. It is the place from Yakuza then. Once you bring in, like, outfits, it's like, that's the place. Hold on, what are we talking about now? What's Bride? I've seriously never heard of the place. It's another spot where ladies cosplay as anime characters, but they fight for real. Okay. Oh man, if we end up having to fight there... I've been wanting to check it out, but they've hit their membership cap, the sales clerk explains. At present, the exclusive Bride has already exceeded its allotted number of members, and it's not accepting new ones. Given the buzz about how both the costumes and the fights are really something to see, memberships that are auctioned off online command quite high prices. Then why is she giving out flyers for it, though? Like, if they're at their membership cap, why promote it more? Also, this is absolutely the place from Yakuza now. So then, you must be pretty strong, huh? He says to the girl. Oh man, we'd all main Tama. Well, I mean, I may not look it, but I'm the current champion. Oh, the fighters are capped, but then why would the sales clerk want to be checking it out? Why would the sales clerk be stopped from it? No, that doesn't check out. Yeah, I've been want to check out. They've hit the membership cap. Not accepting new ones, given the buzz about. And maybe, I guess. They didn't specify. I assumed it meant for attendees, but to be fair, they don't specify, so it could be either way. Well, I mean, oh yeah. The girl proudly adopts a fighting stance. Would you accept a challenge from me, I ask? This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. A challenge? If I win, you have to let me have all of this. The girl breaks into a confident smile. Hold on. I have to save this image so later on I can Photoshop in health bars and, like, let's rock. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with here? She asks. I intend to find out. Oh wow, the sales clerk exclaims. Please do this outside. I have just got to see this. Yeah, that's the look he's got on his face, isn't it? That they're actually about to do it, right? I'm glad to have him egging us on. Excuse me. Well, if you're that set on it, then sure, I accept your challenge. Sweet. Excuse me, we've established our terms. This burning hammer may yet be mine. The girl cracks her knuckles, clearly eager for a fight. I've gotta win this. Somehow or another, I have got to. I mean, I've gotta be good at something. Facing off against this fighter is going to show me what I'm made of. We threw Mr. Bossman way harder than we thought we threw him when he showed up initially. So, see all of it in my connection. Oh, she mentioned that she's the champion in the fighting area, Bride, and we went, cool, fight you for it. Winner take burning hammer. So that's what happened. Nintendo Direct Mini tomorrow? Interesting. Okay. I mean, we have hints that she is definitely stronger than she thinks she is with the whole throwing Mr. Bossman into the bush. Way more than she thought she was gonna. So she might be. I address my opponent. And by challenge, I naturally mean, let's do rock, paper, scissors. Let's play a rhyming game. Let's have ourselves... We have to pick C, right? We might kill Tama, but we have to do it. We have to. Yeah, I feel like we all agree with this, right? That's universal. Let's have ourselves a straight-up fight. The girl grins, nice and wide, like she'd been waiting to hear me say that. See or die. No, see and die. Okay, you're on. The name's Miku, by the way. Challenge accepted. Oh no. Miku and I march out of the shop. Out onto the pavement, we stare each other down. So if you win, I'll let you buy the burning hammer, Miku says. But if I win, I get to keep it, and you have to pay for it. What? Isn't that a little unfair? Why? When her winning condition is, or prize is just how it would already have been, like, Tama already killed accidentally, but you're right. The wheel of fate is turning, yes. If you don't like it, then it's no fight, no deal. I don't have the time to rethink this. Alright. Ready whenever you are. Miku does a little brisk shadow boxing, throwing a repeated 1-2 combination. A training technique for boxing. Involves practicing strikes, guards, and evasions against an opponent who isn't actually there. Yeah, of course a crowd would show up for this. Whoa, what's the deal? Is something going on? It's a street fight! A number of people pass by, including a businessman, a couple, as well as some pretty gruff-looking fellows, and some of them stop to form a small crowd. Aki Endo and Hitomi Osawa. We pass by while running away from some mysterious foreigners. Asao Ozu and his underling, Yutaro Sagawa, members of the Tiryu Gumai Yakuza Syndicate. The Tenryu Gumai operates a lending firm called Takarada Financing, and these two have been tasked with collecting outstanding debts together everywhere. They've already collected from one client today. Next, they plan on grabbing lunch before heading off to find their next target. Wow. I don't know, this might be the right way, it might not. The sales demo has already started by now. I don't have time to goof around here. I watch as Miku starts up her footwork. Who has a bell? A left jab. She's quick. I can see why she's the champion. Ayah! She immediately follows up the jab with a wide right hook. A type of punch involves swinging the arm in a wide arc to strike the opponent from the side. In mixed martial arts bouts, it is common to see a fighter continue the momentum from a hook to catch the opponent by the arm, transitioning immediately into a takedown and pin. I jerked aside at the last possible moment to deliver a little swat to Miku's shoulder. You best believe I am taking this picture and applying the Ultra Instinct Goku Moist filter to Tama. You best believe that's what's going down here. We just went juked out of the way. Whoa! She slips off balance and pitches forward. Oh wow, what was that? The crowd has started clamoring. Miku rights herself and gets back into a fighting stance. What the? How? She doesn't seem to know what just happened. Right? This time I watch as she unleashes a kick with her left leg from a distance. On reflex, I bring up my right hand and adopt a guarding stance. Gotcha, she calls out. It was a feint. All of our screenshots are going to be Tama tonight. Just all of them. There's a visceral whump as a second kick connects, coming at me from a different angle. Whoa, what gives? My big mascot head serves to cushion the blow, to the point that I barely feel it. Hi-ya! She proceeds to unleash a string of additional kicks with her left leg, trying to defeat my fuzzy armor. Eventually, I catch hold of her foot, holding her off balance. I began to walk her backward, making her hop awkwardly on one leg. Kwah! A casual flip of my paw, and Miku goes whirling through the air. Oh! Oh! Ah! The crowd erupts into cheering and applause at the spectacle. Did we pick the right option? Did we just win? Whew, you're tough. Who the heck are you? As you can see, I am a kata. A wry smile comes to Miku's face. To think a bride competitor would lose in a street fight. Guess it's time to go back to being an ordinary girl. You lose once and you're done? You're just done? What? Today's the day I retire. Ah, phew. What? No, she was the best character in this game. Good match there. Well, maybe she's going on to bigger and better things. I don't know. But that seems dramatic. Miku clasped my hand firmly. But hey, I'm just glad that my last opponent was you. Do they elope? They run off together, right? Tell me we don't get a bad end here. Okay, I was about to say. The fade to black had me worried. I always stock the boxes with the diet drink. So, how much does this come to? I asked the sales clerk. He shakes his head. Oh, don't worry about payment. You've more than earned it with that spectacular display just now, which earned him no money. Business-wise, it's a terrible decision. That was really something. Heck, even I'm shocked at what just happened. It's amazing what a little desperation will do for you. So that move you used, that was some Aki Jujutsu, yeah? A traditional Japanese martial art that emphasizes learning to anticipate an opponent's first move and instantaneously counterattacking. Skilled practitioners can toss and throw opponents with a simple touch. The art predates the development of the more pacifistic Aikido, and so some dangerous techniques still remain. We are a deadly weapon. In a fluffy, fuzzy cat outfit. Huh? Oh, I guess. I tilt my head non-committally. Come now, no need to be so humble. I'm a martial arts fanatic. I know my moves when I see them. Knick-knack shop owner Taisei Yasuda watches roughly 350 martial arts fights a year. That's more... Oh, that's a lot of fights. And what do I get for martial arts classes? Maybe. He's particularly fond of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and is thinking about studying it himself. There's a dojo he's been eyeing, but he's rather timid, and he has thus far only waffled non-committally outside the entrance to the place. Is that what happens when you sit outside a place, just chomping on waffles? Muscles and heart. He can call it whatever he wants. If he's letting me have the drinks for free, this is going to be a lifesaver. Is that all the shopping you'll be doing with us today? Well, ask for the necklace for free too. Yeah, actually come to think of it, I do have one request, I say. Sure thing. Yep, okay. Could you please not sell that necklace? You don't even ask him to give it to you? Okay. I promise I'll be back to buy it later. Sure, no problem. The sales clerk gives a deep bow. I did it. I managed to solve my burning hammer problem. Now I've just got to get back to the sales demo. Oh, that must be awfully heavy. Here, why don't you use that dolly? The sales clerk indicates the hand truck over in the corner. Oh man, hand trucks are lifesavers. Also, she'll be able to see. Oh, thanks so much. I didn't say steal it, but if he's giving out free merchandise for the spectacle, ask. And also, yeah, she'd never steal. I load the pile of boxes under the cart and rush back to the Nokane building. By now, the sales demo will be well underway. I need to get back as soon as I can. If there's nothing to buy, the customers are going to leave, and everything I've gone through will have been for nothing. Is that Ducky Duck on the left hand side of the screen? Come on, Tama, you can do it! Body focus. Just gotta hurry. I charge for the demo, pushing the dolly ahead of me like a battering ram. Ah, oops, sorry to keep you waiting. It makes you happy. Get slim body. You're late. What the heck have you been doing? Mr. Bossman practically throws himself at me. The weight must have been killing him. Standing behind him is a man I don't recognize. We're not going to take it? Oh, we can't take it. Even weirder. Whatever. Who is that guy? He doesn't look like a customer. Okay, Tama, just come with me for a minute. I follow Mr. Bossman into the break room. Sorry I'm late. There was a whole bunch of stuff that happened. But look, I got the product back. I proudly open up one of the cardboard boxes. Ah, it's burning hammer. It really is. Bossman clutches the box close, nuzzling it with his cheek. How's the demo going, I ask? I've got Chiri keeping them occupied with some magic tricks. I sneak a peek through the door and see Cheery guzzling orange juice from a gigantic container, draining it in one go. Is that really a magic trick? If it buys us time, it's magic enough. Before long, the last of the juice is gone. Over in the corner of the stage, I see 6 more huge containers, all likewise empty. If one container is not magic ramen, 6 is. That's... like, you die. You die from that. Like, you drink that much water, you die. It's shocking to think that she may have drunk all 7 of those things dry. The audience erupts into sincere applause, like they've forgotten what they originally came here for. Yeah, I did, and they implied that she did in, what, 3 minutes? But come on, that's legitimately lethal. Cheery comes back to the break room, positively drenched in sweat. Ugh, I think I should have stuck to doing imitations for a little longer. No, that was fantastic, Cheery, Mr. Bossman says. Just fantastic. Thanks to you, we had enough time to get the burning hammer back. Yo, for sure, yeah. He bows profusely. Alright, now's the time for the main event. Cheery, go out there and guzzle down some burning hammer. Get yourself all drenched in sweat. Got it? Aye, aye, boss. More? And Tama, just go up there, smile all big, and say, this helped me lose a bunch of weight too. You gotta get her out of the suit for that though, right? The whole... because that was her original purpose, was to be like the model for this. Of be like, oh, you're attractive, you can just say you lost weight with this stuff, but gotta get her out of the mascot costume for that. Got it. Good, now then, Mr. Bossman gestures to a man I hadn't noticed before, who's been waiting quietly nearby. Of course, begging him. Oh, he's the technician. We might actually. Yeah, they called the company. Yeah. That's it. It gotta be. It's a service rep from the rental shop who proceeds to try to get me. Says try. Masamichi Fukuma, employee of Far East Costume Rentals, the only son of the company president, Shigimiki Fukama. Is one of the few people who know what Shimichi looks like, as his father is usually clad in a rabbit costume. Masamichi has harbored a strong dislike for both his father and mascot costumes ever since the old man showed up at school on Parents' Day one year dressed in his inevitable rabbit suit. Nonetheless, the son has acquiesced to his father's wishes, and someday he'll inherit the family business. That's a lot of backstory for a guy. Oh? That's odd. The rental guy tilts his head. Oh no. What's the matter? Bossman asks nervously. Ah, yeah, this is a no-go. The rental guy pokes his finger at the back of my suit. This here zipper, it's all jammed up. It's going to take a long time to get this thing off. What the hell? Mr. Bossman clutches the sides of his head. That's not his head. The rental guy tries tugging at the costume from various angles, hoping to free up the zipper, but like he said, it's no use. Meow. The rental guy's eyes widen at the sudden sound of a cat mewing. Was that you? He looks at me, confused. Did you hear a cat meowing? Yes. Was it you? No, not me. I'm as surprised as he is. Must be hearing things. Mr. Bossman and Cheery don't seem to have heard anything. Bah! Bossman is fuming. Just my luck. Finally find a cute model and the crowd's never gonna see her. Hey, boss, Cheery says. The customers are gonna leave if you keep them waiting much longer. I absolutely thought she was gonna be like, cute model right here? No, I'm really confused about that cat, though. Like, that's... What do we do? Want me to go out there and do some more impressions? Chiriko's repertoire of impressions. A sea lion yawning. A harbor seal hailing a cab. A walrus reading sutras. A fur seal who can't reach the itchy spot on its back. A Stellar's sea lion taking a nap. No, we don't have any choice. Tama, you're just gonna have to go out there dressed like that. Are you sure? I ask. Those people go home, we're done for, he exclaims. Is the zipper caught? I hope not. Just get out there and get started. I'm counting on you two. Okay. Sure. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Cheery and I spring into action on stage. But now, I'm proud to introduce you to the worldwide sensation that is Burning Hammer, the latest product from the West that has taken the diet world by storm. Every seat in the house is packed. That means there's about 40 people in here. We only need to sell 5 bottles to each aren't they selling them for like $150 a bottle? 5 bottles per customer. Easy. Easy. I'm hit with a sudden jolt of motivation. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drink works. It's magic. Cheery begins. The plan is for me to describe how the drink works, and then Cheery will demonstrate it with a test taste. All eyes are fixed on us. I begin. For the first time in human history, you can drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Yeah, nothing's going to end well for Mr. Bossman at this rate. Just drink and burn that excess weight away. Astonished gasps rise up from the crowd. Just take a look at this marvelous red liquid. Even looking at it makes you feel like you'd be shedding weight, right? Here's how Burning Hammer works. It activates the capsaicin found in chili peppers, the primary spice component of chili peppers, said to be effective for improving blood flow and stimulating the burning of fat. Because it is a severe skin and eye irritant, it is also an ingredient in some forms of pepper spray for personal devices. It's the hot stuff in peppers, yeah. I pause to take a deep breath before continuing. And, rapidly breaks down the triglycerides responsible for causing obesity. Though the term is frequently used in recent years to simply refer to the state of being overweight, obesity in the clinical sense is a medical condition involving interregulated health issues including excess body fat, hyperlipidemia, and hyperglycemia. Individuals suffering from obesity are at high risk of complications such as coronary heart disease, diabetes, and sleep apnea. Again, the crowd hums with excitement. This response is better than I could have hoped. We're off to a terrific start. And now, this young lady here will demonstrate Burning Hammer's effects before your very eyes. Cheery steps into the spotlight. Just wait to see how much she sweats. Proof that the fat is being burned right out there on the spot. Cheery holds a bottle of Burning Hammer up high. Cheers, she says, and she opens the bottle. However, one of the women in the front row speaks up. Hold on, she's already sweating pretty hard. She's right. Cheery's drenched in sweat from head to toe. Another woman chimes in, suspicious. That juice drinking from earlier, that was all just to make her sweat like that, weren't it? All of a sudden, the crowd is in an uproar. No, not at all. Drinking Burning Hammer makes you sweat way more than this. I rush to towel off Cheery's sweat for her. Go on, hurry up, drink it down. Cheery's face screws up unpleasantly as she gulps down the bottle. Yeah, that's what they choose to nitpick. Yep. And the sweat doesn't come. Gah, why isn't it working? I exclaimed, the audience momentarily forgotten. Guess I've already sweated out too much, Cheery replies, unfazed. Yeah, she's clearly dehydrated. Believable. Yep. No liquid left in the body. You sweat a little bit. No reserves to pull from. Yep. Well, why were you sweating so much? Look, you were taking forever at the 100 yen shop. The crowd shifts from uproar to riot. Did she just say 100 yen shop? Scowling customers begin to close in. No, that's not it. You've got it all wrong. Please, just listen. Oh, we can see what's going on here. The situation has gotten out of our control. Look, this product's so valuable that a 100 yen shop is about the only way we can get it. What? Uh-oh. I think I just put my foot in it. The customers glare at me, their eyes bright with rage. Please let me apologize. Asking for forgiveness seems to be my only option. Haha, kidding. That was just a joke. Hunka Lamb Chop. It's a clumsy attempt to force it off, but it's mildly... What? Hunka Lamb Chop? Oh, not 100 yen shop. Hunka O Lamb Chop. Who's the biggest screw up? Yeah. Alright, see you around, Mint. Thanks for hopping by. Hopefully you enjoyed the weirdness of this all. Yeah. I feel like it's either C or B. A is not the case. It's gotta be C or B. Well, let's try C. Hunka Lamb Chop. It's a clumsy attempt to force it off, but it's my only option. She said, Hunka O Lamb Chop, I repeated. Meaning that burning hammer is just so incredibly filling, having just one tiny bottle feel like you've eaten a big, meaty meal. Yeah, that's what she meant. Uh-huh, sneers one customer. Sure. Do they really sell this at 100 yen shops? Rats, we didn't manage to distract them. 100 yen shop? What's that? Answer me! Do they really sell these at I cry. It's the chupacabra! I thrust my arm out to point, only to accidentally catch one of the attendees in the head with my fuzzy fist. Tell me we didn't just kill somebody again. The woman lets out a muted groan and sinks to the ground, unconscious. The rest of the crowd stares at me, stunned. Oops. I murmur? Nah, I murder. Well, Tama! Shouts Mr. Bossman, rushing out of the break room. What the heck are you doing? Abort! Abort! He hums. If you let these people know the truth about this stuff, they'll never buy it. Uh-oh. Now you've done it. Shiri doesn't hesitate to point the finger at him, but stare ferocious. Oops. Realizing what he just blurted out, Mr. Bossman is aghast. Oh, he gonna die too. He gonna die. He's dead. Like, all of them look like they can murder him, but the one in blue on the left and the one in yellow, green in the center are going to end him. Now there really is no saving this. And the one between the one in yellow and green and the bright green, the one between those two is just gonna stare his soul out of his body. Yeah, how did this go worse than it could? Like, we knew it was gonna go bad, but like this? The customers descend upon Mr. Bossman, their wrath a terror to behold. So then it is true. What the hell are you trying to pull? I can't believe you try to sell this crap for these prices. Oh no. I don't think the audio has leaked yet. Okay, it leaked. The thorn goes on the attack. Shiri and I force our way through the angry mob, hoping to find some way to calm these people down. Cursing and profanity fill the air. The shouts are accompanied by merciless, open-handed slaps. I get all jostled and tumbled about, and my mascot costume takes a bad beating. He's dead. Like, they got slapped around a bit. He's dead. Finally, the storm passes. Oh man. I'm surprised. Like, I just imagined them going to like the beast style and just like picking up chairs and just start swatting them like it was it's over. It's all over. Mr. Bossman wails to the empty room. So, boss? About getting paid. Even Cheery seems hesitant to ask. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Obviously. Bossman doesn't so much look up. His shoulders slump further in defeat. I'll take payment in kind then, Cheery says. Mind if I take this burning hammer home with me? Sure, Bossman says lifelessly. Go right ahead. Alright, I'll be off then. Later, Tama. Cheery picks up the cardboard boxes and heads out. Sir? It's the man from the rental place. I believe you still owe me for the costume rentals? Oh. Right. How much was it again? Bossman rummages in his pockets. Well, given the severe damage, I'm afraid I have to add the full cost of the cat. What? The zipper's jammed. Oh no, it's damaged because... Okay, never mind. It's damaged because she said it took a beating. It's not the zipper, it's the fight. The total comes to 200,000 yen. Damn. Was that? 200 yen? You trying very hard. No, sir. 200,000. Sorry, I can't hear at all. I think I might have ruptured my eardrum. 200,000 yen, sir. Okay. Bossman takes all the cash he has in his wallet and holds it out reluctantly. That's only 20,000, sir. The whiskers are bent. The rental guy furrows his brow. It looks super damaged, you can tell. I'm afraid this won't cover it. I understand that. I don't got no more than this. Don't got no more? Sir, please, you're not a child. Then give me a discount. Make it 20,000. Instead of the 200 you owe? You know I can't do that, sir. But Mr. Bossman refuses to back down. Ah, that's right. Insurance. I got insurance in the event the suit wound up damaged. No, you didn't. No, I did. You did not, sir. No, I did. Where's your paperwork to prove it? Bossman calmly claps a hand to his chest. Right here. The paperwork is here, inside my heart. The rental guy clutches the sides of his head in exasperation. And believe me, I feel his pain. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna leave this to my boss. Shigamichi Fukama, president and owner of Far East Custom Rentals, notable for the fact that he's usually wearing his favorite rabbit costume. To Shigamichi, his costumes are like his children. If he were to hear that one of his suits had been ruined, he would probably never forgive Bossman, adding to the man's already considerable list of enemies. Considerable list. That's a good question, Potions. It's a very good question. Because every time he pisses somebody off, he's super gullible and they just convince him to somehow buy a bunch of stuff. But how does he have the money to buy it? I don't know. It's a good question. Turning his back on the ruins of the sales demo. Oop. He slumps his way out of the room. So we're still stuck. He didn't take the costume with him. Okay. Now it's just me and Mr. Bossman. Please, try not to let it get you down so much, sir. I say as cheerfully as I can muster. He's already down on the floor, a sobbing mess. You wouldn't know what it's like. This is the second shot in the storyline that makes it look like we are absolutely holding him up for money. Like we just murdered his family in cold blood and we're just staring him down, waiting for a reaction. To feel so utterly hopeless. I think I might have an idea, sir. In fact, I'm sure of it. At this point, there's nothing more I can possibly do. He slumps forward, trembling like a willow tree. Things will turn around soon enough, I'm sure. You don't know me like I know me, he says. There's not going to be any turnaround, not after this. Okay, now this little pity party is starting to piss me off. You know, if you think you're the only person who's had a run of bad luck, you are dead. Wrong. I wind up shouting the words louder than I intended. Mr. Bossman whips his head back up. Yikes, where'd that come from? I need to tell you something. My pent-up emotions come surging to the surface. I have amnesia. Bossman's eyes go wide. What? I can't remember anything from before this morning. In short, amnesia. Amnesia can have a variety of causes. Psychogenic amnesia is caused by stress or psychological trauma, whereas endogenous amnesia is a powerful blow to the head, causes physical trauma to the brain. In the later case, memories and other normal functions frequently return once the cranial nerves recover. My name, how old I am, where I live, any of it. I would much rather be in your shoes, sir. Mr. Bossman looks at me with a hint of disbelief. So where do you get the name Tama, then? I thought of it when I saw the Tamagoyaki in those lunchboxes. Aha! Tamagoyaki, Tama. I get it. He claps himself on the thighs as if he's had some big eureka moment. But wait. How come you lost your memories? Well, I don't know for certain. Obviously, I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure I took a hard blow to the head. When I came to, I was inside of a storehouse with a massive headache. Storehouse? A surge of vertigo washes through me as I recall waking up in that strange, dim place. Yeah, I had just gotten out of there when you flagged me down, sir. I mean, we do need the cash, clearly. Huh. Really? So is it pretty unnerving then, not knowing who you are? He sounds like he's taking me seriously now. Yeah, it sure is. But it's not gonna do me any good to just fret over it. And besides, I've got a clue. What sort of clue? A necklace. There's a necklace I saw at a knick-knack shop, the same place I found the burning hammer. Somehow I know that it's important to me. And so you took this job so you could afford to buy it? I nod. Of course. Now that the job has ended in a total bust, I've lost my shot at getting it. Okay then. Mr. Bossman removes his shoes, then yanks out the insole. This here really is the last of my money. He pulls out 20,000 yen, adds it to the other 20,000 from his wallet, and thrusts it all towards me. Here you go, he says. That includes the reimbursement for the burning hammer you picked up, which we got for free. I pluck up two of the 10,000 yen bills between my fingers. I actually didn't have to pay for it, so the 20,000 we agreed upon is fine. But how about you, sir? Are you going to be okay? Like, after all this? Compared to your misfortunes? Mine are nothing. Schadenfreude. They might say, it's not really Schadenfreude, it's more just perspective. Oh, he just went through in a few minutes what watching an episode of Jerry Springer will do to a person. It's like, wow, my life's pretty okay, ain't it? They might send me up the creek without a paddle, but I'll bounce back somehow. I'm sure of it. And then, clutching his fist, Mr. Bossman gets a far-off look in his eye. And then, one more time, I'm gonna go see a bride fight. My jaw nearly drops. Bride? Like the martial arts pub? That'd be a pretty nice guy. Yeah, he's clearly eccentric, and he's clearly gullible as hell, but he's not a bad guy. He's just gullible as hell and weird. Wait, you know about Bride? Man, I spent so much money at that place. That's where he spends. Oh, wow, it is a small world. Especially that Miku. I wonder how much she has made me spend. Dude. Miku, huh? Pretty sure I just accidentally forced her into retirement, but I decided to keep quiet on that front. Yeah. Oh no indeed. He nods. To be honest, the reason I borrowed all that money was to pay my tabs at that place. And I had to borrow from some pretty shady sources too. I can't help but suspect that this poor guy got a real raw deal. Why don't you take that mascot costume with you? Huh? I mean, I don't really need it. No, I insist. Take it with my blessing. It's not yours to give, dude! Sure. I'll be on my way then. It's not his to give out. out in the hallway, I passed by the man I'd noticed earlier, the one I didn't recognize. Nope, can't jump. Odd. The sales demo's over. I wonder why he's still here. I give him a faint nod, and he nods back before slipping into the demo room. Oh, yeah, I wanted to see what time it was. Okay, 1:35. Still a little bit of time left. I wonder why he is still here. I should keep my fingers crossed for the guy. At last, I'm back outside the building. I feel bad about not returning the cat suit to the man from the rental place. Still, I can't just walk around town wearing this thing. I'll stick out like a sore thumb. I figure it's best to just leave it behind. And then it dawns on me. Hold on. I still can't get this thing off. It's time I skinned this cat. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. It's not worth the struggle. Guess this cat's staying in the bag. I figure I'll head to the knick-knack shop as is. We have to hold on to it. We have to hold on to it for story progression. You're right, we have to try it, but we're gonna get a bad end because he won't recognize us. But you're right, I want to see how it plays out, even if it's not the right one. It's time I skinned this cat. The exact origin of the phrase, "there's more than one way to skin a cat," is uncertain and a matter of some dispute, though it appears to have arisen in the latter part of the 19th century. It's hard to imagine why anyone would want to conjure up such a gruesome mental image. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. I feel like every time we pick an option we're like, this is clearly wrong. It's not. I take hold of the head in both hands and yank it upward as hard as I can. Oh ho! Please tell me I'm not just imagining things. The head feels a whole lot looser than it did before. If I give it a good enough push, then maybe. Rah! The fight weakened the hat. It comes off. I did it. I slip out the rest of the cat costume and gleefully abandon it as I head for the knick-knack shop. No, the problem was the zipper though, so even if you got the head off, how do you... Whatever, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It was stuck. Oh. That's not what I expected. How do we keep picking... Okay, well, to somebody else's story then. Somehow. Oh. We couldn't go to Minorikawa from there, right? Even though... But we know it will start. Oh, because it's a keep out though. That's why, right? Was it though? It doesn't say keep out there. It says keep out here, so we might be able to pick a different option. Let's try a different option. Yeah, of course we don't get to see. That would be silly. Going to start a ruckus? Going to start a ruckus. He kept his voice firm, his words short and clipped. Hey now, no need for that, sir. Just the same response. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a silly little magic show now and again? I swear I keep seeing movement out of the corner of my eye. Got 2 minutes. Okay, same thing. Minute can't have passed already. 1 minute. Seriously flustered. It's just yep, time's up. Okay, so there's a keep out there. Which should, I don't know why it didn't tell us we made it, didn't have that, but now if we go to the Tama decision from earlier, we should be able to jump over, right? That's the hope. Now that it says a keep out, we should be able to jump over to it. Tama. Is it that one? An unfamiliar man? Yeah. Yep, there he is. Okay, we'll try this. Man I don't recognize. Perfect. I don't know why it didn't let us before, but whatever, we got it now. It's cool. We wouldn't have done it before anyway. Ah, oops, sorry to keep you waiting, a girlish voice exclaimed. A moment later, a furry figure came charging into the demo room. The crowd fell silent at the sight of a young woman in a cat costume. Oh man, now we get to watch this debacle from another point of view. The cat girl panted visibly. Her arms were loaded with cardboard boxes. "You're late," the event organizer snapped. "What the heck have you been doing?" Grabbing the newcomer by one paw, he vanished with her into the back room. Ooh, yeah, time flies. The chubby-cheeked girl wrapped up her magic routine and hurried after them. The audience stared at the now empty stage in confusion. Babies, gotta get some sleep. No worries, it's all good. Get some rest. This is slightly different. See you around, potions. Several minutes passed before the organizer reappeared. "Ladies, I'm terribly sorry to have kept you waiting," he called out. "But now, I'm proud to introduce you to the worldwide sensation." Oh no, this did happen, we just off camera. "It is Burning Hammer." At his signal, the young woman and the cat appeared on stage. "Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drink works. It's magic," the young woman exclaimed cheerily. The cat nodded and threw out her arms. For the first time in human history, you can drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink and burn that excess weight away. And with that, the sales demo was underway, a good 25 minutes behind schedule. After it's been going down, we're staff, understandably. But yeah, rest up. Work's important. Sleep's important for work. So like, yeah, I'm making sure to upload these all to YouTube. So like, there will be records of this. 5 minutes into the presentation, things begin to go awry. An angry clamor filled the room. "What the heck are you trying to pull? I can't believe you'd actually try to sell something like this." The outrage had been triggered by something that the young woman on stage had said. She'd inadvertently let slip that Burning Hammer was the sort of thing you could buy at a 100-yen shop. The would-be customers were furious to learn that they were about to be played for suckers. Most of them had immediately tried to storm out of the room. Now, the organizer, the full-figured young woman, and the girl in the cat costume were at the door, doing their best to hold back the tide. Things had gotten pretty interesting, really. Norikawa pulled out his digital camera and started firing off snapshots of the angry crowd. Some modern digital cameras come with the remarkable ability to automatically trigger the shutter when the subject smiles. This function also works if the camera is presented with a TV or photo image of people smiling. There are even cases of cameras recognizing faces in the wood grain of ceilings. After all, if we can make out faces in the wood when we're gazing lazily at the ceiling, we can't fault a camera for doing the same. Unfortunately, the frenzy was so intense that he was soon caught up with the flow and pushed out of the room. Fine, I guess I'll just need to do some interviews instead of getting pictures. "Excuse me," the asshole woman, "would you mind if I asked you some—" "Shut your mouth!" Huh. Okay, interesting. But also, I love that he got pictures of this. "Would you mind telling me a little about—" "Don't you talk to me!" Oh man, there's a wide variety of them, and I'll admit, this is a little different from the other ones I've played. But all the ones I've played are ones that I've enjoyed immensely. Not to say all visual novels are good, but the ones I've played, I would recommend anybody. Obviously this, any of the Danganronpa games, which are the same company, any of the Phoenix Wright games, even though I've only played the first two, Steins Gate 1, if you want concentrated depression, play Steins Gate 0. But this is a beast all its own. Could I get a word on unbelievable? Just unbelievable. Keep in mind it is a full price style game, so you might want to wait for it to go on sale, but at the same time, I'm not going to tell you not to. If I had gotten this at full price, I'd still consider my money's worth on this. I got it on sale. I think it's like $40, $50, not $60, but like, it's not getting stealed. Yes, for sure, it is. The woman was so enraged that Norikawa couldn't get any of them to give him the time of day. Yeah, no, nobody escaped that unscathed. And it's on PS4 and Steam at least. I know it's on other things too, but those are the two I saw it on. Before long, the entire crowd had surged out of the room and departed. Ah well, guess I've got enough to do a write-up at least. Well, it would be nice to get a quote from somebody. He decided to try for an interview with the man who organized this fiasco. How did the guy feel, for instance, about his product scam falling through? I like his slow-moving head. They pass again, heading back into the event room. Norikawa passed by the cat mascot. But we didn't have to pass there. We can. The cat gave him a tiny nod and walked off without a word. He couldn't see the face of the girl inside the costume, but she seemed genuinely dejected that Burning Hammer had been a bust. I guess. Hey, I'm Minoru Minorikawa, freelance reporter. I was wondering if I could have 5 minutes of your time. The organizer sat alone in the midst of his ruined displays. Oh, it's you. The man's voice had lost all of its earlier punch. Here, my credentials. Minorikawa handed him a business card. The man introduced himself as Boss Man, and Minorikawa got right down to business. So, your sales demo is over, Mr. Bossman. How do you feel right now? How do I feel? Well, tomorrow's another day, I guess. Minorikawa was impressed by the guy's candor. I'm a little surprised to hear that, he said. I figured you'd be more disappointed. Oh, I'm plenty disappointed. I took a big gamble here to repay my debts, and I lost. Bossman didn't seem to be trying to hide anything. Debts? Mr. Minorikawa asked. There was a girl I was in love with, Bossman said. I wound up spending everything on her.
Oh no!
He stared wistfully into the distance. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, that's true. Minorikawa knows Miku. He wouldn't be the first man to go to such lengths for a woman. Yeah, Bossman said. I suppose not. A rueful smile crossed his lips. This guy didn't strike Minorikawa as some dyed-in-the-wool scam artist. But I decided it was time to stop feeling sorry for myself, Bossman went on. There are plenty of people in the world who have it way worse off, you know? You got that right. Minorikawa nodded in agreement. So I just figure, well, as long as I'm still alive, maybe another opportunity will come my way. A more earnest smile broke through Bossman's forlorn expression. Minorikawa wished Toyama could have been there to hear this fellow. Yeah, right? I have a friend who's in an incredible amount of debt myself, Minorikawa said. He runs a publishing company, but there was a big mix-up with the scratch cards in his magazine and... Scratch cards? Uh-oh. It's not important, Minorikawa said hurriedly. Letting more people know about the whole scratch card fiasco certainly wouldn't do Toyama any favors. We know what his next big idea is going to be. Anyhow, debt is a terrible thing, Minorikawa nodded sagely. Oh, by the way, this is unrelated, but are you familiar with a group called SOS? Apparently there's some legendary street gang here in Shibuya. With Aki running that street gang, and with Aki as strong as we've seen him be, I can see why it was legendary. SOS? Bossman shook his head. No, never heard of them. 20k in scratches? Oh, 100% likely. And you know what? He's gonna win on the scratch tickets, and then go into some other big crazy deal and blow his money on that. Guess I'm not gonna get any leads on that case here. Oh no, he's gonna pull a Zoidberg. He's gonna place all his money on one thing, and against all odds, win a brickload, and let it ride on the next one, and then lose it. Minorikawa wondered if there was anything else worth asking this guy. Would he be willing to take his Shibuya Now survey? No, nothing really came to mind. It's about time to wrap this up. We may as well ask him the survey. I kind of feel like leaving him alone would work, but A seems decent. Maybe Bossman would be willing to take his Shibuya Now survey. Taking a little bit of the burden off of Chiaki seemed like a good idea, yeah. I have another question. How do you feel about your life right now? Huh? How do you feel about your life? Your products aren't selling. You can't repay your debts. And yet you still refuse to give up, believing opportunity will come your way. How do you feel about all that? Bossman paused and thought. I'd say I'm a pretty lucky guy. Minorikawa was taken somewhat aback by that response. I haven't been able to sell any Burning Hammer, and sure, I can't pay off my debts. But even so, Bossman looked Minorikawa right in the eye. The two cute young girls I've got working for me have stuck with me through thick and thin. Sometimes, maybe just need to be content with something like that, you know? That was refreshingly forthright. Minorikawa was surprised. And I mean, so what if I've got debts? Bossman went on. In the long run, none of that matters. Not really. That chin. Also, yeah. Hey Grim, welcome to Viperland in the chat. How you doing tonight? You've missed some stuff, yo. You missed actual best girl in this game. You missed the legitimate, actual best girl. Her name was Miku, oddly enough. There was a knock at the door. Oh, excuse me a moment, Bossman said. I wonder who that could be. It's the debt collectors. He opened the door and his face froze. Yeah, it's the debt collectors. Damn! Wasn't quite quick enough. Mr. Minorikawa? Yes? You'll have to pardon me. I've had a little something crop up here, so if you don't mind. Oh, sure. Not a problem. Oh, or it's the head guy in the bunny suit. I've got other interviews I need to get to anyway, so I'll just... But Bossman was out the door before Minorikawa could even finish. I guess we won't know. Stepping out into the hallway, Minorikawa could faintly hear voices from the adjoining demo room. It sounded like Mr. Bossman and two other... Yeah, it's the debt collectors. Minorikawa couldn't quite make out any words, but he could tell they were arguing about something. I mean, it could be the boss and the technician from the costume outfit, too. So, like, it could be, but it's probably the debt collectors. There's probably some consumer complaint against one of his products, or an issue with a client company. Something along those lines. Man, people who run companies sure have it rough. You hang in there, Mr. Bossman. Oh, he's dead. Don't worry. Oh, perfect timing. Minorikawa stopped short as a familiar voice called out to him. It was the man he'd spoken to earlier that afternoon about the surveillance cameras. He is honestly in everybody's story. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. Hey, come here for a second. The man waved him over. What is it? I'm really busy right now. Got a scoop for you. Saw it with my own eyes. Minorikawa raised an eyebrow. Give me the details. Okay, so a little while ago, I saw some foreign guy in handcuffs arguing with someone who looked like a detective. Oh, okay. Foreigner in handcuffs. Had there been some kind of international sting or something? Whatever the case, it wasn't such a rare thing to see. Where was this? Just over there, behind the police station. Minorikawa furrowed his brow. A suspect arguing with a cop outside a police station wasn't all that weird. Still, he had a feeling he was missing something here. Well, the big thing is what happened afterward, the man said. Afterward? The man leaned in, conspiratorially. The detective undid the guy's handcuffs and let him run off. Whoa. What? I'm telling you, man. It had to have been like a bribe or something. A bribe? I'm definitely running with the fact that Minorikawa would not keep his voice down. That seemed unlikely. I swear, that's what it had to be. There was some wheel greasing going on. You're not making this all up, are you? Minorikawa asked. He regarded the man coldly, but the guy still seemed quite legitimately worked up. It's all true. Please, you have to report this to the police right away. Why do I have to? Minorikawa asked. If you have a tip for the police, go give it yourself. He didn't quite manage to stop himself from saying that out loud. No, I can't. I'm no good when it comes to police. Besides, they're never going to believe someone like me. He doesn't want to go to the police because he's no good with the police. This guy's a little suspicious. He might be Wesker. Okay, so maybe he had a point there. But you're some world-class reporter, right? Wrong. The cops will totally take your word over that of a random nobody. Wrong. Minorikawa didn't have time to debate the point. It was easier just to make the call. He phoned up the police to leave the tip. The man bowed repeatedly, looking pretty grateful. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. I haven't been able to get any business done with those scary thugs around. What thugs? What line of business are you in, anyway? What? The man suddenly went pale. Yeah. Thought he was an antique dealer. Whoops. The suspicion deepens. I gotta get going. He skidded off in alarm. Yeah, the suspicion deepens greatly. Minorikawa was left to wonder what this guy's line of work actually was. But he had more important things to worry about at the moment. But yeah, Grim, just a quick summary of Best Girl. The start of his story, we're in the next hour, we're in the 1 to 2 o'clock block. The start of his story, he's running to try to get the burning hammer, and he bumps into a woman on the sidewalk. He goes to apologize, but she grabs him by the collar, lifts him up. One of the options is apologize profusely. The other option is sucker punch her in the gut. So jokingly, we pick B. She doesn't flinch at all. Lifting him off the ground, sucker punching in the gut, doesn't flinch, stares him down, brings him to a back alley, beats him within an inch of his life before recognizing him, and the story goes on. But like, legitimately, right? Also super cute too, and named Miku. But like, the fact that like we picked it jokingly, just like, oh, we want to see this man die, and like, nothing happens. She's just like, made her angry. It's like, yeah, best girl. And then we get to fight her as Tama, and we win. By the way, yeah, I don't think she's gonna pop up in the story again, unfortunately. Yeah, no, we fight her as Tama and win in a street fight. We had more important things to worry about at the moment. He hurried off in the other direction. I could probably at least find a clip of her, like, go back to one of the chapters. Once we hit a point where we gotta move anyway, I could be like, oh, Graham, here you go. And go back. Before long, he arrived back at Cafe Lautrec. The clock on the wall showed that it was close to 2 o'clock. Whenever we hit a keep out for him, I'll go find her. He had to somehow fill 6 more pages before the loan company came to Heaven Publishing to collect. Yet, we went straight Ultra Instinct on her. Like, we went full Goku Moist. As Tama, in a street fight, he booted up his laptop. "What's with this coffee shop?" said a low, stern voice. "We've got no good magazines here." Norikawa looked up. Oh, that tragedy is still happening. An older man was complaining to one of the waitresses. It was the same guy who'd been yelling at his daughter earlier. Evidently, he'd been here at the cafe this whole time. "Haven't you got any magazines for me to read?" The man's face was a mask of irritation. When Norikawa glanced at the magazines in the rack, they were mostly geared towards younger readers. The waitress sifted through the stacks and pulled something from the back. "Perhaps this would be to your liking, sir," she said. She held out an issue of 4-Star General Gossip. Of course he would. "Don't be ridiculous," the man spat dismissively. "This is vulgar, low-grade filth. I wouldn't even use the paper it's printed on for compost." That was a harsh way to put it, but Norikawa couldn't fault him for speaking the truth. "You're writing for that magazine right now." The man continued grumbling as he went back to his seat. Well, clearly he didn't work on that edition. Right? Norikawa headed over to the magazine rack himself and picked up the gossip. He opened the front cover and found that he was actually in a real big hurry to get back to writing stuff. I found the scratch card still inserted within. If these things were still out here, it was bad news. Toyama might end up even further in debt. Ah! Norikawa yanked the scratch card out and tore it to bits. "Sir, what are you doing?" The waitress rushed to stop her. The waitress rushed to stop him, only for the pieces to rain down on her like confetti. "The magazine itself is still perfectly readable," Norikawa said. "There's no problem. Here." He strode back to his seat and gazed at his laptop screen. It still hadn't finished booting up. Wow. 2008. Dark times. In the meantime, he decided to give Chiaki a call. "What, you don't have an SSD? Come on." She picked up right away. "Hello?" Norikawa asked. "Hi there. Good to hear from you," Chiaki replied. "How's progress?" "I did it," Chiaki said, her voice overcome with emotion. "I managed to get people to hear me out." "Of course you did. You got your pointers from me." "Of course." "Yes, I couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Mino." Her mood had done a complete 180. Norikawa allowed himself a little sigh of relief. "Okay then, head back to the editing department and put together an article for me." "You got it, sir," Chiaki chirped in reply. "I'll email you as soon as I'm done with things on my end," Norikawa told her. Excuse me. Just use the DTP to slot your piece into the right spot in the layout. Abbreviation for desktop publishing. Refers to the process of editing a manuscript's layout on a computer preparatory to sending it to the printer. Also used to refer to the software that's used for creating such layouts. Creating layout data that is ready for printing but has not actually been printed yet is also sometimes called DTP. Sure. Computer printing. whatever. Sure thing. Minorikawa hung up, then rolled up his sleeves. He sure was towing a pretty narrow line today. Also littering. In a restaurant. What if that hits a person? The Burning Hammer event had kept him a little longer than anticipated. Now he needed to clean up his copy as soon as possible in order to stick to his schedule. When he turned back towards his laptop, however, he froze with shock. What? His laptop monitor was still a black, empty screen. There's no way it would take this long to finish booting up. Oh, it couldn't be. No. No, don't let it be true. And his computer decided to pick now of all times to give up the ghost? Minorikawa felt the blood drain from his face. It's the worst time. So that's gotta be to be continued, right? Or keep out? We hit the end of his story, so let's just go give Grimm a quick preview of what he missed. Right? Right? I feel like that's only tantalizingly fair. Maybe, but all we know of their interaction is that they got really mad at each other in a restaurant. Like, really game over, bad end mad at each other. So, like, maybe. But I feel like maybe not. Definitely can't count it out, though. Alright, real quick. Let's go back to punching her. Real fast. Just so we can see that looped GIF, which I'm gonna find something for. Punch her in the side. To his amazement, the girl shrugged off the blow as if it were nothing. I'm not gonna read the whole thing because we did this earlier tonight, but like, just to show Grimm. There you go. Oh, that brings us back there. I gotta go back to the other path real quick, just to keep it consistent over here. Oh, she's automatically best girl. The second she didn't flinch from that, because at this point we hadn't seen anything of her other than her fist. Immediately it's like, best girl in the game. Hands down. Okay, so now we're back on that track. We can continue back on. Where's the Tama fight? Before that. Straight up street fight. And we have the option to challenge her to rock, paper, scissors, some second option that I don't remember, or straight up fist fight. And we jokingly picked the fist fight, and it was right. But if you remember way back when we first met Mr. Bossman as Tama, we tried to get his arm off us and we fling him super far. So like, I was like, maybe it might work. But like, straight up street fight. And, oh, Aki's watching us, by the way. He's in the crowd. She goes to jab us, followed by a right hook, and we straight up Ultra Instinct out of the way, tap her on the shoulder, and she goes to the ground. Like, Grimm, come on. Come on. When we beat her, she's like, wow, that was a great fight. I'm gonna retry it. She works at a cosplay fighting bar where they fight each other in a ring in cosplay while people drink alcohol and pay them money. And she's like, yeah, I'm the champion. I'm gonna retire now. So yeah, best girl in the game. Bar none. Okay, so who do we go to now? We don't have a way to Aki yet, right? Nothing led over to Aki. So we have either Kano, or we have Osawa. I feel like traditionally we hit Osawa first, but usually just because we think he's got a way to somebody else's story. Should we start with Kano? Should we start with Osawa? Do you guys have a preference? Do you care? Does it matter? Save Kano for last like always? Poor guy. I like Kano, but you're right. We do kind of just save him for last like always, don't we? A trap. See more DK? That's true. Donkey Kong is here. I don't deserve to be forgiven for what I've done. I do deserve a drink, though. We may have both done the same thing, but my motives
those were different, and so I don't regret what I did. And yet, if someone were to ask if there was some small part of me that wanted to see the results of my research, I could not deny it. Well, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. If the deed's already been done, he's not saying, I condone people doing inhumane human testing or stealing my stuff. He is saying, as a scientist, it's already been done, out of my control, out of my hands. I'd want to see the data. I can understand that. You don't want to condone those actions, but the actions have been taken. You might as well get the data from it. Osawa grabbed his shoes from the entryway and then headed for the back door. He didn't want the detectives in his living room to know he was going to meet with Makino. That pest Kajiwara was nowhere in sight. Now was his chance to slip away. Gotcha. Speak of the devil, Kajiwara had snuck up behind him. How? How? Are you going out? The detective asked. Ah, no. I was just... God damn it. Oh, dang it, Hold on. I think I forgot to turn on the... Sorry, I had to restart my computer. Oh, no, I didn't have to. It restarted itself because Windows Update. My bad. I forgot to turn the GIFs back on. Sorry about that. That was my fault. Glancing down, he saw a rubber duck stuffed inside it. Is this your doing? I laid a booby trap. Or rather, a ducky trap. We gotta send the screen cap to Seth, right? Originally, a type of leather trap, a lethal trap used during war times to catch clumsy or unwary soldiers, boobies. In modern parlance, however, the term frequently signifies a harmless prank, such as setting a blackboard eraser atop a classroom door, so that it falls onto the head of whoever opens the door. Yeah. Wasn't gonna use it on the duck, but okay, that's fair. I mean, the duck was pretty menacing. Kajiwara beamed with self-satisfaction. You act like a grade schooler, Osawa said. Indeed, sir. I am a grown man with a youthful heart. Leave it to Kajiwara to yet again miss the point entirely, but at the same time, it worked. He found out you were going outside, so like... With a sigh, Osawa tossed the duck at him. Kajiwara caught it nimbly in one hand, then stuffed it right into his pocket. I won't tell you that you aren't allowed to leave, sir. All I ask is that you tell me where you've been and where you plan on going. My work is highly confidential. I'm not at liberty to discuss just anything about... Please, try to work with me on this, sir, Kajiwara interrupted. He leaned in uncomfortably close. Do you recall what I said before? About how I'd appreciate if you didn't keep secrets from me? Osawa hesitated, inwardly debating how much he should share. Decided to tell the truth. Alright, I'll tell you, just leave me in peace. Needed to keep it a secret. Psh, it's not your business. I'm just gonna buy some cigarettes, he lied. I feel like the lying option probably won't get much accomplished. It doesn't concern you, kind of continues along our original track, like that's just how he's acted the whole time. I'm tempted for A. I don't know how it'll go down. I feel like it could lead to a bad end. And it's definitely like sharing company secrets that he probably shouldn't. I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like of all of them, C is kind of the throwaway one, but every time we've tried to get a game over tonight, we've picked the right path, 100% of the time. Yeah, by the way, Grim, the get beaten to death by Miku, not a bad end. It actually continues you along. You have to pick the apology one later just because of branching storyline, but it doesn't give you a bad end and it continues his story. Go A? I'm tempted to see how A goes. I think it might be bad, but you decided to tell the truth. Alright, I'll tell you. Just leave me in peace. One of my colleagues is waiting for me outside. Who is it? I'm sorry, that's all I can say. Could you tell me a bit about what you'll be discussing?
Kajiwara leaned in even closer. His eyes twinkled with suspicion. I can't share corporate secrets, detective. Like how you don't tell me anything about the state of your investigation. It goes both ways. It might have been childish reasoning, but it worked on Kajiwara. Alright, the detective said. In that case, I just have one condition. Excuse me. Please take this with you. He produced something that looked like a small transceiver from inside his coat. What's this? It's a bug tracker, sir. It'll beep in response to a nearby listening device. I'm just gonna meet someone from work. I don't need this. He pushed Kajiwara's hand aside, and the bug tracker fell to the floor. Mr. Osawa, you mustn't underestimate the lengths to which those kidnappers might go. For once, the detective's face was all seriousness. Alright, fine. Osawa snatched up the device and headed out the door. It could also be a listening device, but if he's telling the truth and it is a bug detector, that's actually very helpful and a good thing to have. I feel like... I don't know. We don't know Donkey Kong well enough to be like, would he just plant a listening device? I feel like he wouldn't. I feel like he likes messing around and keeping our good doctor on edge. I don't know if he'd straight up spy on him. Well, I don't know. He might actually. Mikano's car was parked out front. Yeah, he seemed actually serious. The driver stood alongside him. Osawa exchanged a wordless greeting with him, then got into the back. He found Mikano reclining in one of the luxurious leather seats. So he's not short on money. Now then, Mikano said, what did you want to ask me about? Lighting a cigar, he glanced sidelong at Osawa. Also, yeah, that's true. Probably both. I was hoping you could explain the situation to me, sir. Which situation would that be? So he was still going to beat around the bush, even now. Osawa suppressed an urge to shout at him. Are you the one who let the antiviral out of the lab, sir? Yeah, that was me. Mikano didn't bat an eyelid. So why had he been so coy a few moments earlier? But how? The fingerprint authentication system is almost unbreakable. Getting access to the storage area would... He trailed off as a thought suddenly occurred to him. It was not strictly true that fingerprint authentication was the only means of entry. Osawa and Tanaka had both set up passwords as a failsafe, in case an injured fingertip somehow prevented them from operating the scanner properly. These passwords were 10-character alphanumeric strings. No one could just haphazardly fumble their way in. Could Makino have sent a request to the electronic locks manufacturer and asked them to unlock it then? No, that required the approval of 6 board members. And Osawa was one of those 6 people. There really seemed to be no way of getting in without leaving any trace. You're absolutely right, of course, Mikano said with a grin, as if reading his thought. I couldn't gain access to the lab without you and Tanaka. But I didn't have to. He exhaled a large plume of smoke. You remember when we released the samples for animal testing? No, it couldn't be. Osawa broke out in a sweat. Ah, but it could, Mikano said. I had them divert some of the samples intended for animal testing. Naturally, that didn't leave any record of anything being taken from the lab. Osawa bit his lip, hard. He couldn't help but feel betrayed by his company. No kidding, yeah. But why? Makino let out a nasal, one-noted chuckle. You don't seem to grasp just how valuable this thing really is. What do you mean by that, sir? Makino lowered his voice. There's a major world power out there that has already weaponized the UA virus. It's Umbrella, right? It's Umbrella, that's the major world power, led by Wesker, that's weaponized, right? We know for sure. For a moment, Osawa thought this was just a sick joke, but the look on Makano's face told him otherwise. Like, potions went to bed, but we have to keep up the potion's legacy of assuming everybody's Wesker. I've been informed that it was recently used on a military installation in the Middle East. Within 12 hours of dispersal, there were at least 800 casualties. Ugh. If you include civilians, the number jumps to over 2,000. Any evidence of the disease agent and the bomb that delivered it has, of course, been covered up. Osawa listened in amazement. His outrage that any government would commit such an atrocity is not quite suppressing his excitement at discovering that the virus could be propagated by explosive means. He felt a flush of guilt at his own fascination. The antiviral you created, Osawa, has the potential to render this weapon useless. Like Black Rose, kinda yeah, isn't it? Right now, Okoshi Pharmaceutical possesses the sole means to combat Iwa. Makino's lips curled into a boastful grin. Any number of countries would love to get their hands on it. The major power in question has offered an unprecedented sum. And that's hardly a surprise. Having a monopoly on the antiviral makes the weapon itself that much more valuable. To Osawa, this was a glimpse into another terrifying world, one he had barely imagined previously. And so you wanted to get human testing over with as soon as possible, is that it? He spat. Makino shrugged. I explained full well to the locals what the risk of experimentation were, and they were paid in accordance with said risks. They willingly consented to infection with the Ua virus, probably not knowing what it was going to do. Sophistry, Osawa huffed, nothing more. You used money to deceive a bunch of poor farmers. Come on, Osawa, who's being disingenuous now? Makino eyed him with contempt and let out another puff of smoke. His story goes from goofy detective man to super serious, world-changing bioweapons very quickly. I know you, Osawa, and I know you're not really concerned for some bunch of hick farmers. All you care about is your research. The thing that's really nagging you right now is that someone went ahead and did the final clinicals without you. Oh, spare me the ridicule, sir. As a virologist, I have a moral duty to... To what? Makino barked. Go to the media with this? Do you have any idea how much money the company has thrown at your lab to keep it up and running? Osawa's lab has incurred expenses of roughly 30 billion yen in developing the antiviral medication. Okoshi Pharmaceutical spends approximately 200 billion yen per year on research and development. Osawa's work is the single most costly element of that budget. Okay. Osawa gaped. I do appreciate all the company has done for me, sir. He spoke so quietly that his voice was nearly inaudible. In any event, Makino said, now that you know about the human testing, I can't let you go to America. How do you know about that? He insisted that I keep his planned relocation a secret, but apparently she told her father regardless. If you insist on making the move anyway, I'll use any means necessary to stop you. So we have my theory of America using any means necessary to get him, and now he's saying any means necessary to keep him there. I still think the Americans are trying to take his daughters to try and convince him to leave. I still think that's a possibility. But you know what? Now I'm really curious how Random Orange Man plays into things. I don't think he's related, involved in that stuff, per se, but he's definitely way more suspicious. Makino regarded Osawa with bloodshot gaze, and we need to go way back to, episode 1 of this, where he gets handed a trash bag. I'm like, I hope Trash Man gets more important to the story. I didn't know what I asked for. I didn't know. Any means necessary? Osawa swallowed the lump in his throat. Sir, you don't mean that my daughter's kidnapping was... Don't be ridiculous, Makino said before Osawa could finish. Of course that wasn't me. Nevertheless, I'll do what I must to keep you in line. Remember that. Understood, sir. I'll turn down the U.S. job offer. Osawa heard his own voice like the thin drone of a tiny insect. He felt utterly powerless. I can't simply take your word on that, Mikado said. Do it now. I want to hear you do it myself. Damn. He jutted his jaw towards the phone in the backseat console. Alright, Osawa said. He had no choice but to fall in line. Couldn't this wait just a little bit, sir? Maybe he could still find a way out. Also, I'm not hearing anything. The Elgato says there's sound here. Do you guys hear anything?
The Elgato says it's like straight in the yellow. White noise. I don't hear it. Well, whatever. Gonna make do with what we got. The AC might be me. Maybe that's why I don't hear this, too. Maybe I'm hearing my AC and this. I don't know. I look down, it's showing a solid bar, but well, whatever. This is bad end. Okay. Yeah. B keeps his morals, probably. I feel like either way he's gonna end up having to make the call. I don't think he's gonna let him out of this car without it. We'll try it. Couldn't this wait just a little bit, sir? Osawa asked. Maybe he could still find a way out. You already know what my decision is, Makano said. His tone carried an edge of intimidation. Osawa didn't reply. He simply stared at the telephone. He felt like an insect who'd had all his legs plucked off. You need to think about your wife, too. Makano's words were barely above a murmur. Realizing that his boss was speaking as Ai's father, Osawa couldn't bring himself to resist further. Yeah, he didn't anyway. He reached out for the phone. It would be around 10 p.m. local time for the American firm. He decided to call his contact's personal phone. The headhunter was shocked to hear that Osawa wanted to decline the position. When he pressed for the reason behind the decision, Osawa hung up. Visibly relieved, Makino lit up a fresh cigar. Sir, there's one thing I don't understand. And what's that? Osawa's head was feeling fuzzy. The smoke inside the vehicle had gotten extremely thick. If someone has this top-secret information, why wouldn't they threaten the company as a whole? Why send those emails to me personally? I'm not sure. There's an internal investigation already underway. We'll find the source of the leak soon enough. At this point, though, Osawa wasn't sure knowing who originally leaked the info mattered much at all to him. If you'll beg my pardon then, sir, Osawa said. He put his hand on the door handle. A sudden, high-pitched chirp sounded from his pocket. No, I don't hear that. Okay, now I hear it. Cool. That I can hear. The bug tracker Kajiwara had given him had picked up a signal. Oh no. Is that your cell? Makino asked. Oh, yes. That's mine. He hurriedly hopped out of the car and reached into his pocket. Is everything alright, sir? The driver was still waiting outside the car. He leaned towards Osawa, looking concerned. Was it you? Osawa stepped close to the driver. Did you send me those emails? What? What are you talking about, sir? Don't play dumb with me, Osawa said. You're the only person who could have planted a listening device in a company car. Listening device? The driver raised an eyebrow in confusion. What are you after? Sir, what are you talking about? Who told you to do it? Tell me. The driver fled back into the car. Osawa clutched the bug tracker hard as he watched the vehicle pull away. Well, yeah, that went super well. Hey, honey. He went back to his house, still gripped by confusion, to find Ai waiting in the entryway. She must have gotten home while he was out. You were with my father, weren't you? I imagine the smell of overwhelming cigar smoke gave it away. She sneered at Osawa as he slipped off his shoes. Yes, I was, he replied. And it's over. What's over? She knows damn well what. He struggled to contain his irritation. America, I'm not going, he huffed. Oh, really? Well, that is good news. She sounded so sincerely pleased. Maybe a little more pleased than Osawa cared for. I need to go finish up some work things, he mumbled. He hurried to his study up on the second floor. Holy crap, is it really almost 2 a.m.? Holy crap. He threw himself... I hadn't checked in the time clearly in a while. The last time I looked it was like 11. He threw himself down in front of his computer. There hadn't been any progress on the investigation, as usual. Just how long was this all going on for? Were all kidnapping cases this drawn out? A specialized victim support team belonging to the Special Criminal Investigation Unit has been deployed at Osawa's house. Yep.
The members of this team are all specialists who have received training in such skills as negotiation, high-speed motorcycle and automobile driving, running phone traces, special communications, and phone records acquisitions. Alright. Osawa was growing more and more uneasy. He could barely contain himself at this point. Yeah, he hasn't really thought of his daughter in a while, has he? Wasn't there something, anything that he could do? He glanced over his monitor. That's an idea. He could look up kidnapping investigations on the internet. That might give him some insight into the current situation. Oh, man. I could just imagine, fast forward 10 minutes. So I was looking up your job on the internet, and the internet told me that you usually do your job way quicker than this. Why is this taking so long? Why are you inept? The internet says you're wrong. Like, He turns into a Karen. He wants to speak to the manager. Kidnapping, police investigations, hostages. He typed the 3 keywords into the search field. The engine pulled up over 100,000 hits. He scanned the beginning of the list for anything that might be useful. One of the site links caught his eye. How will the police do it? It looked like a page containing information on various types of police cases. He clicked on the link for kidnapping cases and began to read. Even if the hostage wound up safe in the end, the site informed him the police lost face if the culprit got away. And if the hostage were killed and the kidnapper evaded capture, the media would have a field day. This made apprehending the suspect an absolute necessity. Even if a person's life was on the line, when it came to a kidnapping case, the police prioritized making the arrest. Which they've been doing. Oh no, they didn't. Taking his hand off the mouse, Osawa sat back and thought. He wasn't going to be able to relax until he heard Maria's voice again. No, they wanted him to tail him, not take him down. I guess you could argue they were going for like the bigger guy behind it. I still think it's a conspiracy, myself. But if the police prioritized arresting the suspect, why were they just letting things stay in limbo now? Didn't they have the crooks under surveillance? Yeah, you could argue they've been trying to find the ringleader. Yeah. He couldn't wrap his head around that. The internet hadn't been able to give him the info he'd hoped after all. I feel like that's a... Yeah, that's... Unable to do anything for Maria, but wait, he turned his thoughts to how his opportunity to transfer to the US had passed him by. Been yanked out from under him. The research facilities in America would have been top tier. Some part of him still couldn't quite accept what had happened. He stole a quick look back at the door, then surfed for the Aya Kamiki fan community for people 40 and over. Whenever something was weighing on his mind, posting to these forums seemed to turn his mood back around. He knew that now wasn't really the time to be doing this, but he needed to do something to calm and quiet his mind. He started a new forum topic. In the title field he wrote, Aya Kamiki, expanding into the US. With Aya Kamiki still at the height of her popularity, does anybody else think it would be exciting if she ventured into the American market? I know I would. She's not the sort of artist who deserves to be confined to Japan. She should be recording at an American studio staffed by the industry's best. I'd love to see her career really take off over there. He wound up getting into a little back and forth with himself. Hopefully he'd get a response from someone else soon. A sudden shrill noise startled him so much that he nearly cried out. His heart fluttered like that of a young child who'd been caught in some prank. Realizing that the sound was coming from the bug tracker, he pulled it from his pocket and took a few breaths to steady himself. Evidently, someone had bugged his study as well. Why did it just go off then, though? Tracker in hand, he walked towards the center of the room. What direction was the signal coming from? He tried heading over towards the window. Here, maybe? Next he headed over to the desk. Here, too? Everything. But why would it take so long to... Maybe it just takes a while to pick up a signal? I don't know. Maybe it's dramatic tension. The bug tracker was picking up signals from all over the room. Had there been that many listening devices planted in here? Mr. Osawa, it's Kajiwara. Ah, perfect timing. Osawa hurried the detective into the study. The bug tracker is picking up signals. Oh? Yes, from all over the room. What should I do? Mr. Osawa, please calm down. As if that's even possible right now. It feels like there must be 10, no, maybe 100 listening devices in here. Kajiwara didn't miss a beat. Let me be honest with you. That bug tracker is broken. Also, yes, those slippers. What? Osawa was dumbfounded. Broken? But this is the one I got from you, right? Well, yeah. But mine isn't detecting anything. Kajiwara produced an identical bug tracker from his pocket. And as he'd said, it wasn't getting any signal. As I recall, Mr. Osawa, that one was dropped on the floor when I was trying to hand it to you. Yes, that's right. That must have been when it broke, sir. The strength ebbed from Osawa's body. He didn't even have the mental energy to be angry anymore. He gave the tracker a whack with the palm of his hand, and the beeping stopped. Right, he said. What can I do for you? Kajiwara clapped his hands together as if he just remembered something. Ah, right. We have a big problem. Toilet again? Osawa sighed. No, it's not that. It's something worse. Kajiwara's face turned grim. Something worse than toilet clogs? I don't believe it. We have to pick A, right? We can't be like, no, there's no way it's important. Mr. Detective, handling the case of my daughter's kidnapping. We want to listen to, like, it's gotta be A. We gotta at least hear him out. Like, we all know he's gonna prank us, right? We know for sure this is a ruse, right? But we gotta pick it. We have to. Had something happened to Maria? He needed to hear the detective out. What is it? Osawa asked. Go on. Tell me. He did his best to remain composed. Well, you see, we ordered lunches for everyone, and it looked like there were 2 still left over, so I wound up eating them. There was an awkward pause. Osawa didn't have the foggiest idea of how to respond. My deepest apologies, sir. I ate the lunches intended for you and your wife. Both? You ate 3 lunches? If he's Chiri's dad, this explains everything. Everything starts to just interlock and mesh together. He's Chiri's dad. It explains it. Or he's Chiri in like a mech, yes. In a Kajiwara mech. Kajiwara bowed profusely. And I really do need to apologize. They were tonkatsu bento boxes, and they were delicious. Tonkatsu is like, that's like the pork katsu, right? I think. Or is it chicken? Either way, katsu is delicious. It's just fried meat. It's impossible to go wrong with it. The meat was so tender, and the batter so crisp. With each and every bite, the rich flavor just filled my mouth more and more. Osawa felt a blood vessel burst in his skull. Listen, you. Get your goddamned act together, or... He didn't get to finish that thought. A pathetic little gurgle sounded from his stomach. Ah, see, Kajiwara said. You are hungry. He fussed sheepishly with his hair. At the talk of food, Osawa realized abruptly that he hadn't eaten anything since the night before. Shall I make something for you? The detective asked. This is all my fault, after all. You can cook? Osawa wasn't sure how thrilled he was with the idea of that Kajiwara helping him. You mustn't judge people based on outward appearances, Mr. Osawa. Alright, fine. Go right ahead then. His newfound hunger was making it hard for him to think. It would certainly behoove him to eat something. He led Kajiwara to the kitchen. What's with that getup? Wearing an apron in the kitchen is a must, sir. The cartoon character printed on this apron, the apron Kajiwara is wearing, is one of his own design. It is modeled after the MPD's mascot. His name is Pinpo-kun. He brought his own apron, with his own cartoon OC on the front of it, just so he could cook. He can't be a bad man. He's clearly a troll, but he can't be a bad man.
Alas, it isn't while I'm naked. Naked? Oh, are you not familiar with the concept of the naked apron? Basically the entire character from Food Wars. The state of being entirely naked, save for an apron. A form of cosplay. No, it's not. No. No. Unless you're actively cosplaying that one character from Food Wars. No, it's not. Cosplay. The views from the front, rear, and sides all offer a certain appeal. But caution must be advised, as it may be difficult to stop arguing about which presents the loveliest sight once the topic is raised. There are similar, more sexualized, naked styles as well, such as the naked sock. Oh yeah, the also known as the red hot chili pepper. The naked shoe. Interesting. Naked necktie. Okay, I can see it. Naked ribbon. Almost the same as the naked necktie. Naked scarf, again. Naked collar, and so forth. Well, I mean, I'm not saying no cosplayer would have done this. In fact, I know one of my cosplay friends has. What's the character from High School of the Dead? The kendo chick. When she ends up with she's cosplayed that version of that character, so like, I know it's been done by people, but I still wouldn't call the general term of a naked apron cosplay. Myself, at least. I could demonstrate, if you'd like. No, that's quite alright. Where'd you get that apron anyway? It's mine, sir. Have you had it with you this whole time? Yes, in here. That's the pocket that's had a banana, an apron, and a rubber ducky in it. Of course, Osawa eased himself into a chair. His hunger was making him feel weak, and Kajiwara was making him feel like he was losing his mind. Oh, this is bad, the detective said. I need to whip something up for you, fast. Something's definitely wrong if you don't even have a comeback. Osawa felt his anxiety mounting. Just what sort of food was this insufferable oaf going to make anyway? He's going to make something great. A, you don't carry around an apron of your own design unless you can cook. And B, well, he's been a huge troll this whole time. He's done everything he's tried to do, he's done well, if not above and beyond. He's clearly good at what he does. So unless he's going to give him a bad dish just to troll him, I feel like he's going to give him an honestly, I'm assuming he can actually cook very well. Probably nothing worth eating was his bet. For now, he just have to pray he wound up with something edible. Maybe it was better to ask Tanaka to make him lunch instead. Since Ai's lunch is gone as well, he should probably ask her to make something. I hate to do this, but I get the feeling whatever we pick is going to take us on for way longer, because these tend to be like one decision every like 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to leave this cliffhanger here, where we get to decide how our food goes next time. Even though it's a few minutes early, this seems a logical ending point, and it's fun to leave on a cliffhanger, even if it's a food-based cliffhanger. So, this is what we're going to call it for now. Also, hello, Mitz. Welcome to Viberland in the chat. Scrawling your way on in. Why did the bot... What?
Okay, you better listen, you
Why did the text not work? I definitely started my bot today.
find you?
Oh, it disconnected when I swapped internet, which I had to do before the stream. I was like, I made sure to start my bot today. I know for a fact it disconnected because I had to swap the semi-happy. Hell yeah! Curious as to why only semi, but any amount of happy is good. Unless the amount is 0, then it's not good, but math, it's fine. But that's why I didn't do the text part of the command. So yeah, we're going to leave this here for now. Oh yeah, I heard about that as well. I think I'll probably end up sleeping through it. I had to wake up early today for Pokemon Going. I did 6 straight hours of Pokemon Go today. My nephew was very excited. I could have done with a little less of it. It's fine. I'm glad I got so many shinies, but I could have done with... I got like 20 shinies in like 2 hours. I could have done 2 hours and been happy. Yeah, there's a mini direct tomorrow morning. I'm assuming by the time I wake up and check Discord, I'll see what the mini direct is. I want to say 10 a.m.? Yeah, so 10 a.m. Eastern. Having already had to wake up early today, I don't want to set an alarm for that tomorrow, but I'll see it in the Discord, it'll be fine. I don't know what I'd hoped for.
I mean, let's be honest. My two big hopes are the two big ones I've been hoping for a while, but they wouldn't be in a mini. I want more Shin Megami Tensei news, and I want more Bayonetta 3 news. Anything else would be cool. I would like more Rune Factory news, because they're making Rune Factory 5, right? 4 was the thing they were like, oh, we're re-releasing 4, but we're working on 5. I wouldn't mind Rune Factory 5 news. That would be cool too. But whatever they do will probably be cool. Ugh. Etcher news would make my day. Make my week. Partner showcase. Okay. It's 10 minutes. It's mini then. Yep. It's mini. Interesting though. Still interesting. But for now, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. It's been a heck of a stream. We continued to get a lot accomplished. We made it through another whole hour block. We started up this one. Per usual, we're leaving Kano for last. But, you know, we've made a lot of progress. We got at least one character to be continued. Let's see who might be going tonight for the raid. It's Sunday. I don't know the game, but G-Money Mohawk is playing Pummel Party, and we're going to toss it there. I know nothing of the game, but that's where we're gonna toss things. Yes, we'll see in a bit. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. It's been a great night. Let's do a raid. G-Money Mohawk. A monster. A quote. A Discord. And you know what? That's just a sound effect for this game. Let's be honest here. That's just a sound effect for the whole game. Yeah, let's get a raid message. Obviously, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a great time. Always good. This game is just so much fun. Like, it's really good. It's caught us all off guard, like, I think. I don't think anybody went into this like, oh, this is going to be great. And even I did, and I was like, it'll be entertaining for a stream, maybe. But this is proven to be, like, good stuff. Tomorrow we're doing World. We're going to try and get Alatreon solo if we can. If Sasafune shows up, I'll definitely try duos. I want to try not to do like 4 people if I can, 1 to 2 maybe. Try and refine my set, work with a few things. Tuesday is more Monster Hunter World. I don't know exactly what we'll be doing on it. Might be crown hunting, might be PC, don't know. And I have no idea what Wednesday brings yet. I really haven't thought about it. We'll figure that out as it gets closer. So we only know Monday and Tuesday for now. But either way, it's been a great time. Let's copy and paste the raid message because it's going to auto-raid us in a second because I've been talking too long. This has been Viper for Viperland, and I'll see you all next time. Wednesday raids is a great idea, but the last time we tried it, we couldn't find people. I like that idea. I don't think it'll work this week, though. Especially as it gets closer to not the patch. Or, you know what I mean. But raid time now. Bye!